you?
Good.
Let's see. This is,
Keep forgetting to send this to you.
this, oh. Okay. That, they don't want it. Got it. Thank you. Hey. Let's see.
No,
How you doing?
on the side of the grass.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. Really wore me out during the election, so I'm still recovering
I hear you.
from my long day.
How many hours, Peggy?
I don't know how many total, but we didn't get out of here at 11:15 for election day.
Is it usual for over half the people who got an absentee ballot to not return them? Bad.
We had to process the absentee ballots. We had to process the absentee ballots and shut down the early voting and the election day voting. So, yeah, took a while.
Sent out 461, so we're missing
26, yeah.
About 70% or so.
I think if you take the time to ask for one, you take the time.
Some
to
of them
return
actually
it.
brought it in and Tabby got it Tabby. That's not on, that's one of those. That's included in the other numbers, it doesn't tell you that.
It's 5 o'clock, we're gonna call the meeting in order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Take a roll call, please, Rose.
Light,
Here.
Worth here, Zelinski. Here. Miller. Here. Nelson.
Present. Public comment is gonna open at 5 o'clock. Any person wishing to address the board may do so once per public comment period. Comments are limited to 3 minutes and shall be addressed to the chair, not individual board members or others in the audience. This is a comment input option. The board is not required to comment or respond to presenters. Silence or non-response from the board should not be interpreted as disinterest or disagreement by the board. Do you have any public comment?
501.
Go ahead.
Well, thank you. I guess genuine thanks for exposing and documenting the board actions as pure malfeasance. You're making a legal case against the board action so much easier to prove. Exposes some members the total lack of understanding, and their illegal board member actions aren't protected by Michigan statutes, just so you know. Ridiculous level of content for this meeting, much which first deserves a public hearing before any action. And I wager that most of the board hasn't actually read all of the information that's in the packet. So there's a lot to talk about. I'll keep my comments primarily on the proposed waiver resolution. There's no compelling reason for this farce of a resolution at all. I appreciate your underscoring the importance of following the township law rules and policies, though. What the resolution misses, while talking about the fact that you didn't publish it in the paper, there are at least 5 other failures that you're overlooking. One is that there's a requirement for 3 written bids, that those bids should be received as sealed, and bid specifications should be developed by the supervisor, not the fire chief. The sealed bids are supposed to be opened in the board meeting, and they're supposed to be opened by the clerk, or the treasurer in the clerk's absence, not anyone else, including the supervisor. It's an improper motion on the face, and most would consider it an action that's moving the goalposts after the ball's been kicked, which invalidates it in and of itself. Modifications of policies and procedures require a public hearing, just like the annual budget does, the master plan does, or any ordinance changes. If it was reviewed by legal counsel, where's the letter stating that legal opinion? I don't trust that it was, without it, it's pure heresy. I doubt it was cleared by an attorney, or if an attorney was even talked to, he was given the full facts of what our stated policies and procedures are. So he made a uninformed ruling at best. And if you don't have it in writing, it's not a legal opinion. And to include it as part of a waiver makes it even worse. Even if one were to accept the waiver on its face, which I don't, the lack of publishing in the paper, it still violates at least 5 other clauses. Therefore, you can't proceed tonight with awarding the contract for a fire engine, and the board is repeating its actions of a year ago, 2024, but this time with even more legal exposure. Raises the question of why a new fire engine is even being considered. The fire chief is actually on record stating, we don't need a new fire engine. Supervisor claims his knowledgeable brother said once one isn't necessary, and we've had those conversations that I've been told directly by the supervisor that a new fire engine is absolutely not necessary. When Trustee Nelson originally joined the Finance Committee, he also said, we don't need a new fire engine. What changed? Raises several questions about the impropriety of such a purchase. Spending $850,000 is not in the approved fiscal budget for this year. And that amount is well beyond what is considered a felonious level of exposure for the board if it improperly spends the money. Also, this evening, I failed to see a budget resolution for the purchase. You need one. Where's the money coming from? There's no indication of how it's going to be paid for, and the fire equipment fund is insufficient to cover even the lower end of the bid that you're supposedly considering. Not to stop following, there's a need that appears that Trustee Nelson has become a Sven Valley of sorts for the board, or a Pied Piper, and I would really suggest he stops following his lead. Presumption that his AI created crazy texts are somehow valid. They certainly, I doubt, have been vetted by your attorney, and I certainly know that they haven't been tested in court. They're AI nonsense. Balanced budget amendment belies the fact that Trustee Nelson didn't watch the 2024 Manor Costarison video to present to the board proper budgeting. He claims he did. Clearly he didn't, because suggesting that we should have a balanced budget was one of the things clearly covered, that a proper board budget is never balanced.
How much more time do you have? Because your 3 minutes is well out.
About 30 seconds.
Okay.
Acting as a planning commissioner is another problem that he's created for the board and the planning commission. Well, he doesn't carry the title of the chair. He certainly has been acting as the chair of the planning commission, and that's clearly spelled out in the Planning Commission Enabling Act. Planning Commission is also totally ignoring the wishes of residents, which very clearly in the survey said they wanted to stop the stupid wasteful spending and wanted the taxes to be cut, at least not go up, which again, you're forcing them to do. You've exposed yourself and vote for Nelson. You expose yourself if you vote for Nelson's misguided proposals, but be prepared for the backlash. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other public comment?
My name's Monica Fiebing, and I'm a resident of Inland Township. I'm here to formally urge the board to vote no or table the proposed purchase of the fire truck. While I'm in total support of the fire department, I do not believe that this is warranted at this time. First, this board has failed to publish the legally mandated public notice for this request for proposal. Skipping a public notice violates standard municipal procurement integrity, invalidates competitive bidding, and means any contract signed tonight would be a procedural, non-compliant, and legally voidable. You cannot pass a retroactive resolution to excuse a missing public notice. Second, there is no documented operational need for an expensive $800,000 plus truck at this time. Pushing through a massive unneeded expenditure using taxpayer millage funds without a proper, transparent public notice constitutes a severe breach of this board's fiduciary duty. If you vote to approve this purchase tonight, despite these severe legal and procedural defects, you are exposing this township to immediate audit failures and taxpayer lawsuits. I request that this item be removed from the agenda or voted down immediately. Thank you.
Do we have any other public comment?
I echo the two of those, but I also, know that you don't want any reports from the webmaster. However, anything put on the website is a true reflection on me and not any of you people. And I'm tired of being made to look like a fool. Somehow, someone just can't, even tell if the pages that are scanned in are upside down or not. There's a packet out there right now that there's well over 20 pages that are upside down. So if anybody goes to the website and wants to read it, you gotta flip your computer upside down. The only way I can get that fixed is to have access to an Adobe edit program. The the website person that we're in contact with is willing to fix a page or two, but all of those, that's not his job to do it. So I have no job description, I just do what is thrown at me, and I shouldn't have to check people's work. Because when I do, I get met with hostile comments and other things against me, which I'm not okay with. I'm just not okay with that. And we are constantly breaking the Open Meetings Act. There's violations there. And this current packet that is out on the website is not even accurate from what's in the room right now. Rose had made a comment that she was going to add her totals, election totals in there, and that was never scanned to me. I ended up getting those. I got them and scanned them in myself. Also missing from the packet was the fire chief's report. So if anybody looked on the website at the packet, they're not gonna see them. You have to go to an additional packet that I added. And with the election totals, I guess I question those because when I look at the county website, the totals that are in our packet do not match the county's totals at all. Also, I would like to see in the next meetings, reports from the clerk, exactly how much we have spent to Manor and to the auditor to get our books balanced. And also, at what month are we balanced to? Is it January, February, or are we up to date through July? Also, there is sitting in your packet, you have a report that says that there's money sitting in the event committee account, and that account should have been closed a year ago. So I'm wondering why nobody is even questioning why it's still sitting there. It was clearly stated that the parks and all that is supposed to have been closed.
Do we have any other public comment?
Yeah, seems like powers to be wanna buy a new fire truck. And people that know about it don't
say it's needed. So you people represent the township. You want to spend $800,000 on a new fire truck that's not needed? That's on you people. It's your choice. I don't think we need a new fire truck. Thank you.
Okay, on another subject, I'm here to tell you that I'm really happy about the ordinance that you're about to look at for the green burial. I'm getting closer and closer to needing such a thing. So I've looked at it and I'm just here to express my support for the ordinance that you're gonna consider that's on the agenda here. I know my neighbors, several of my neighbors are also interested in it, and we're ready to sign up as soon as the time period passes that is required for that. And the other thing I just wanted to make a few clarifications about the parks. There've been some things floating around criticizing the fact that we didn't get anything done on the old committee didn't get anything done on the Township Park, and I just wanted to clarify that we tried our best to get some things done. And we were consistently stopped by board rules and several board members who didn't want to spend the money, didn't want to let us do things that didn't have enough bids. So we kind of gave up on that part of our responsibility, and we focused on the Lamb Road Park, which we finished. I also wanted to tell you that I'm happy to hear that the contract for mowing over at the Lamb Road Park has been returned to Wilkinson because she knows what she's doing. And I was over there yesterday and she has mowed exactly what she is supposed to mow. We were not mowing the grass in the meadow. That is not to be mowed. I mean, that's part of the natural area. We actually seeded some native grasses over there. They haven't started growing yet, but hopefully they will someday. And the ferns are growing into that meadow. And I was there yesterday walking the forest trail that goes up on the one side and cleaning up some of the sticks because I was told that grooming wasn't going very well. Well, it's not going very well because the people who did that and are doing it are not physically able to anymore. I mean, we're just, one of our major trailblazers moved to Mount Pleasant. We don't have him anymore, the young guy that was able to do a lot of that stuff. My son is not available. He's caretaking for two old ladies who are ready for the green burial part of the thing. So we're not getting the kind of work done. So I just wanted to say that, you know, I'm happy to see that you have a new parks committee. I wish you all well. I hope that they are able to accomplish some of the things that we wanted to and couldn't. I really do. But I also hope that some of those nice young volunteers whose pictures are on the website might want to go over there and do some trail grooming themselves, because the team that I had working with me is not very available these days. We just see old or we're not here anymore. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any other public comment?
Sure. Real quick. Just one quick comment and information about our general fund millage thing that happened on August 4th. As folks probably know, it lost by 9 votes, 3,409 to 3,400, which is something. This particular township went 418 no to 269 yes, a big gap there. So I see that more as a result of possibly myself and maybe others not providing the right amount of education, possibly the necessity for approving this millage versus the consequences if not. And I'm not sure, I will have a meeting on Tuesday with the Board of Commissioners to decide whether this shows up again, maybe in November. Until then, that's kind of up to the rest of the board. Also like to thank the Benzie County Republican Party for sending a blast email out to everybody saying, please vote no on this 2 days before the election. That's all I have. Thank you.
Can you tell me what
Thank
those
you.
numbers were again, please?
418 no and-
Yeah, 418 no and 269 yes, I believe. And I think that's because there's an inland and there's like an inland EV, there's two inland
voting area differently. One's much bigger than the other one, but I just did quick math and put them both together, so.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any other public comment? Public comments closed at 5:18. Approval of meeting agenda.
I have a question. Rose from the Parks Committee wanted to have approval for the parks and for our insurance carrier to conduct an inspection of the playground. And there's no cost, I mean, do we need to approve that? Is that something we just, she asks if it can be done with all the,
Yeah, I saw that. I think if there's
Insurance
no
company?
cost, we just call that insurance.
We're not sure there's no cost. The gentleman that came and did our mulch, I spoke with him. He said it's pretty standard practice for an insurance company to regularly inspect the park and we should be looking into that. So that's where
Right.
that came from.
so
So,
we're talking
I-
about, how, does
right.
it cost us money or will our insurance?
well, I know
company
we should
know?
ask the insurance company and find that out. But that's where that report came from, that there was no cost, was from the mulch guy. He said typically there, to his knowledge, there's never a cost associated with that. Your park or your insurance company wants to know the conditions of your park.
Right, so that's what I was wondering if we need to approve that.
Well, I think we do.
And so we probably should approve it just in case. So I'd like to add to number 9 and the insurance carrier to conduct an inspection of the playground.
I'd like to also insurance coverage inspection. I'd also like to add O, so you did O and I'd like to add that we consider a webmaster report to be included in our package. I think the report should include what's been done to the website, what needs to be done, and hours worked. I think we should all want to know those things and concerns and possible updates to it. And then also, I think we should create P, and we should create a webmaster job description. And with that, I make a motion that we approve the meeting agenda.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of consent agenda.
Did not get a chance to, do, prepaid bills. We need to inspect the prepaid bills.
Prepaid.
Oh, I'm sorry, unpaid. Is that what you got there? The unpaid bills?
That goes on the next one, number 7.
Why do I always reverse them? Sorry, my dyslexia. Which I don't really have.
Was there a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second. Any discussion? Take roll call, please, Rose.
Nelson,
Yes.
Miller? Yes. Zelinski?
Yes.
Worth, yes. Sights?
Yes. Motion carries.
Now, unpaid bills, please.
Yes.
Let's do the minutes
Previous
first.
minutes.
Oh, minutes. You want to do them in order? Thought we were gonna do them all together.
I just had one on 9D for quarterly amendments.
I have to look. I can't see it.
L.
Oh, the L in quarterly.
I
Move to- That the Inland Township Board approve the July 13, 2026 draft minutes as presented with the addition of the Ellen quote.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Unpaid bills.
There you go. That's what I wanted to see. Thank you. All the correct invoices are here. Scrolling. Yes and A. Listen,
Oh, well, I don't have the first part of it.
are we buying new toilets? For the park?
Where's the rest of the invoices?
Gave me.
This is long.
Oh, there's more. Oh, okay. Gotcha, okay. Oh, is that just clean out?
Yeah.
Clean out, okay. There it is. Sorry about that. Okay, can I have those other ones back now? Somehow I'm going to grab that. Somebody already finished it. There.
The insurance.
What? Sorry,
What?
that one?
Yeah, there's two of them.
There's two checks.
Two
Oh, here we go.
invoices.
Two checks and two invoices. Thank you. I'm gonna do this fast, and I think I'm making it too. Oh, I did, you're right, thank you. Good. I'm good.
Move to approve I move to approve the unpaid bills number 16092 through 16111 for $26,746.93.
Second.
Any discussion? No. Take roll call, please, Rose.
Miller,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Worth, yes, Sights.
Yes.
Zelinski.
Yes.
Motion
Thank you.
carries. Financial reports. Any questions on any of them?
Move to approve the financial reports as presented.
We don't approve those anymore.
Oh, we didn't approve it anymore?
Because you can't change them.
Sure.
Next is 8A, approve the following draft policies: budget policy process, financial asset system access, conflict of interest, fraud risk management, password, cash handling, bank rec, fund balance classification. I'll make a motion that we approve the budget policy and process, financial asset system access, conflict of interest, fraud risk management, password, cash handling, bank rec, fund balance classification.
I'll second.
I have a comment. There is a typographical error in fraud risk management.
Page number?
This one, right on the front page, in the third paragraph, the very last sentence, that arise involving the supervisor are to be brought to the S.
Can you say that again? I'm curious.
Yeah, the very last sentence in that third
Oh.
paragraph, any concerns that arise involving the supervisor are to be brought to the S.
Board, isn't it?
Should be
Board.
board or some other person, not
Attorney,
S.
maybe?
Pardon?
Maybe the attorney? I don't know that you wanna, if we suspect him of fraud or that, I don't think you wanna publicly state that until you have some kind of proof, correct? Maybe address it to the attorney?
Sounds good to me.
Let that one roll and make another motion to include the, correction.
Move to add,
We have, okay, we're gonna amend that motion.
yes,
Okay,
to amend the motion for fraud risk management policy to amend the third paragraph, last sentence, to read instead of S, attorney.
So last month it said, any concerns involving the supervisor are to be brought to the attention to another elected official, excuse me. Let me repeat that. It says, any concerns that arise involving the supervisor are to be brought to another elected official, is how that sentence ended last month.
Probably prefer the attorney.
I think so.
But
But my opinion, I don't,
Did anybody second your,
No. Nobody seconded you. That's what I thought. Nobody seconded.
do you wanna just start over?
No, we have a motion on the floor. She amended that motion, so we need to vote on.
So somebody's
we-
gotta
we-
second
We
her.
we can second this motion, vote on this motion, and then vote on the first motion. That's how, it's weird.
The person needs a second.
I'll second.
discussion? Okay. All in favor of the, or is this a roll call one? Is this policies?
I think to
You
make
do
this,
roll call
yeah,
just to
let's
be
just
safe.
do that.
for the amended.
Right. Okay. Nelson,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Zelinski,
Yes.
Ward, yes, Sights?
Yes. Motion carries. We take roll call for the original motion.
Yes. Miller?
So if I'm understanding this, this should be no.
No, we corrected the fraud risk.
Okay, so
So
now
we
it's okay to,
approved the fraud risk, and
so
so
now
now,
it's okay.
now it's like correcting
Got it.
the actual whatever.
So yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Ward, yes, Sights,
Yes,
Zelinski?
Yes.
But if you want to vote, no, you still.
motion carries. B, we have the cybersecurity insurance. This is one we tabled from last meeting. Not sure if we need it. We have dollar amounts.
So I gave Rose to include in the packet what was given to us at the, town, or the county-wide treasurers meeting. Where they had a special from the bank come in, and there's several numbers in here regarding how much fraud there is going on in the world and how many banks have, you know, the potential risk to the extreme amount of money that we do have on hand, well, at this time anyway. I think that we should do it.
That was very helpful. Thanks for including that.
The banks recommend it, the county treasurer recommends it.
They have a recommendation for dollar amount? I gave
Rosemary actually attended the meeting on my behalf and provided me with these notes and this document. So she may actually have that. No, she says
They didn't.
because we have,
only 22% of organizations actually recover funds lost through fraud, risk through the internet and that sort of thing. So, my thoughts.
we have one for 1 million, one for 500,000, and one for 100,000.
I personally think that we should, well, I guess it depends. Are we gonna spend all our money in the next 3 months? Cause then we don't need the $1 million policy. If we're not gonna do that, then I think that we need the $1 million policy.
And that's 2388.25 for the total premium. I was just letting you know how much. it was.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
that much different from the 500 paid.
Go ahead and make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we purchase the insurance. What is it? Is there a name for what the insurance is? Oh, I moved the, well, why don't you read it? You typed it up. You have it already.
I move the Inland Township Board approve AIG cyber insurance policy quote as presented and recommended in the board packet. The tier one at $1 million, the premium's $2,330. Taxes, surcharge, and fees are $58.25 for a grand total of $2,388.25.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
No.
You take roll call, please, Rose.
Zelinski,
Yes.
Bites,
Yes.
Worth, yes, Nelson,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Motion carries. Flagpole lights,
I had a tremendous amount of stuff going on this month and plus some illness in there. And so I did speak to a couple of electricians, did not get any official bids, didn't get a chance to meet with them. So I guess if you want to proceed with the,
or do you wanna wait
I'm
until next month and see?
totally up to you guys.
People
You
are
really-
waiting to see what they come back with, I guess, at this point.
And I will continue that process.
Okay, so we'll move flagpole lights to unfinished business for next month. Property maintenance contract revision. Anybody have anything they saw that they wanted to change or? Good.
I move that the inland township property dated August 10, 2026, between inland township and Margaret. Be adopted as presented.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Take roll call, please.
Nelson,
Yes.
Miller, yes, Zelinski,
Yes.
Worth, yes, Bites,
Yes. Motion carries. Action items, we have AMT Fall Regional Meetings.
I move that we approve the MTA fall regional meetings be attended by board members, planning commissioners, and zoning administrator, and board of review, and land division, and the zoning board of appeals. Will include everybody. Yep. To attend. Yeah, we'll get, well,
Preferably the Thompsonville.
preferably in Thompsonville. Including mileage reimbursement. As well as covering the cost of it.
A second.
Any discussion? You take roll call, please, Bruce.
Nelson,
Yes.
Miller? Yes. Zelinski,
Yes.
Ward, yes, Sights.
Yes. Motion carries. Cemetery ordinance number 2026-02 to include green burials and send to attorney.
I have some
And
questions.
publish if we need to.
I have some questions on this one, on page 3. A, double I, No written response to said notice indicating a desire to retain the burial space in question is received by the township clerk from the last owner of record of said space, or his or her heirs, legal representative. We've got within 60 days from the date of mailing of said notice. I'd go 90 days because,
That's my page 3. Okay.
well, I'm in
No
section
written
4.
response. Right here, okay. Okay,
Because if you've got people that are out of state with the mail being delivered, you might not get things in 60 days, depending upon where you are. I'd like to stretch that to 90 days.
I question why we wanna sell it, buy it back in the first place. I just,
we don't,
I just, yeah,
what
I,
happens is that usually we don't wanna buy it back, but the persons don't want it or need it. It was part of whatever, and they come to us and ask us to buy it back, so we buy it back. Otherwise, it's a grave that after 30 years, we'll have to take back anyway.
well, it's just that, so I think of cases, and I've known of cases that have happened where somebody goes out, the grandparent buys lots for all of their children and grandchildren, and then the grandchildren have no idea the grandparents are now gone, the parents
Right.
don't even, they don't update their kids' addresses when they leave, so the kids don't even know they
Right.
own it, and then
And that's,
then you're gonna take a plot that could quite possibly be grandpa, couple, and selling them to somebody totally else in between a whole family of people. I just,
but
I question whether that's 90 days is even possibly enough.
At least it gives us a bigger border that we can work with.
We're gonna take the time to research and try to
and
find.
who's
the
gonna
right
wait
address.
30 years to do that? But that's
Yeah.
what the cemetery laws are.
And I have a question on page 5, section 8B. It talks about the burial right permit, along with appropriate permit or form issued by the state or health department for cemetery plot involved, together with appropriate identification of the person to be buried therein. I'm just wondering, so I know, like, my parents bought lot for 2 of them and one of those kids. So do I need to have some kind of certificate or something that I need to be able to find and show people that that's still mine, or how does that work?
Is it in their will? A lot of fact, is it in their will?
They didn't have a will.
They should have a certificate.
They should have a certificate, so I should find it, okay?
Yeah.
That was just a personal question, because I didn't know.
Because if it wasn't, we have copies of all that, we would have to go in and find it,
Okay.
which, we can do.
Okay.
That,
Can we change the within 90 days even to within 6 months, whatever number of days that is?
120?
Sure.
I just think we should give people more time, especially people like that you said are out of state.
120.
Because what happens if those 60 days fall at the start of election time? Is the clerk gonna have time to research those people for the first 3 months of the
Right.
time period?
Then, section 12. I talked to Bob. Well, in section 12A, second line should be designated, not designed. Okay? And then on page 7, section 12C, second and third line, it says the plots must not exceed 10 by 20 or 12 by 30. We need to change that to 2 foot by 3 foot, so it comply. It also goes along with the rules for green burial.
And I have a question on page 9.
Can you guys talk up a little bit, because I just hear mumbling.
I'm sorry, my voice is weird because I've been sick.
Then we might need to get microphones.
On page 9, section 15C, it says no flowers, shrubs, trees, vegetation of any type shall be planted outside an urn. And I know
Right.
that I've been planting plants directly under the gravesite. I just,
And everybody does, but we don't have a cemetery policeman, so. You know, if they get mowed down, they get mowed down, but usually our lawn people are pretty good about not doing that.
they know who has
Yeah.
real flowers, yeah. Okay.
I
those were the
mean,
only
we do
things
have
I-
that advantage to have good lawn care people for them.
That's it for me.
So I move that we adopt the cemetery ordinance 2026-02 to include green burials with the corrections to section 12A, designed designated, 12C, remove the 10 by 20 and 12 by 30 inches to 2 foot by 3 foot. And send page 3, sorry. Page 3,
And the Bill of Rights.
page 3, 120 days from 60, and then page. That was it. To send to the attorney and to publish it once it's been. Or do you want to?
Okay.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Nelson,
Yes.
Worth, yes, Zelinski,
Yes.
Miller, yes, Zients.
Yes. We need to clear this now.
Unless you want to brought back next month. It's all been fixed.
So I declare this ordinance adopted. Next, we have cemetery green burial rules and price.
Okay, I talked to Bob to get some of these things fixed. So on third page, standard burial interment procedures at the bottom of the page. First bullet has 3 foot by 7 foot centered within a 5 foot by 9 foot lot. It is preferred to have a 4 by 10 or a 5 by 10 lot. So what would we
You
like?
said 4 by 10 or 5 by 10?
Mhm. And I was thinking 5 by 10, depending on, because some people are bigger than other people. Not to be rude.
I think 5 by 10 is fine.
And then his prices on the back will be the same on the back page as they are for regular burials. So they are written down there where it says Monday through Friday, 400, oh, I didn't. I called him after. Monday through Friday is $425. Saturday is $625. Sunday is $725. And infants up to 2 years is $100. Those are the Sexton prices that we've been enclosed here in our cemeteries. And people carry those same prices over to a grave burial. No.
Sounds good.
My question I wanted to ask all of you is, do we want this on the west side by the regular Inland Township Cemetery? Was the other thing, because I don't know if you know, but there's 3 sections right there at Countryside. And all those trees in the back, we still own property. Way back there. So the cemetery can grow, so that's why, the green burials can actually just. So,
If it requires a expense to remove all the trees before the whole cemetery is starting to fill up, it doesn't seem like. I mean, it feels like there's a lot of space currently in this.
yeah, there is. I'm
So I
not
don't
talking
think we
about
need
cutting
to
it down
clear
now,
that
no.
for green
I just
burials.
want you to be aware that there's plenty of room if that cemetery lot fills up with green burials. We have a lot of space in the back.
Yeah.
So. There's that. I move that we adopt the cemetery green burial rules and pricings with the amendment to the standard burial and interment to a 5 by 10 space and the sexton's cost and lot prices. Oh, wait. Sorry. We didn't
Any
discuss how much we
second?
want. We didn't we didn't discuss how much we wanted to charge people.
You said the same as the regular burial.
That's the sexton burials.
Oh, for the plot themselves. We could do a second motion. Let's vote on
Yeah.
this.
Take roll call.
Zelinski,
Yes.
Ward, Knights,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
The next question is, how much do we?
How much do we want to charge for these?
What do we charge for a regular plot?
500,
I don't know why it'd be any different. Same, it's space in
for
the
our-
cemetery.
right? I'm just saying, people, Peninsula charges $2,000 to $3,000 for a green burial for a resident. I know.
They're on the peninsula.
I know.
We're on the highway.
So do we want to charge everyone 500, or do we want a price for a residence like we do for Inland Township Park, Cemetery?
What are their costs?
500 and 100 for the residents, because they pay property taxes and
I think we should do the same.
same, okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Plan.
So do we need a motion then for this?
Why? I move to approve the lot prices of 500 for non-resident and 100 for.
A second.
Any discussion? Take roll call, please, Rose.
Nelson,
Yes.
Worth, yes, Zelinski,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Sights.
Yes.
Can we take a break? Because,
How long?
5 minutes.
Okay, we'll take a 5-minute break, starting at 5:57.
Thank you. Are you going for dinner now?
Thank you.
Good seeing you, Peggy.
Yep. So is there a separate section to the cemeteries for the green burials?
They go on the west side, Countryside Cemetery.
Countryside, thank you. I just kept hearing inland cemetery, so
Yeah.
I'm like, where's it going? It's countryside, the west side, thank you.
They're more comfortable than the ones that we thought about buying.
That's the same thing in our building, we had these ridiculous chairs, and they got this big plush office chairs now, and you almost want to fall asleep now.
Side section.
Okay. Dream chair. Still good, I've got a sign put here already going for one. Had to justify $300 for something.
I'll take it under consideration.
Like, wait a minute, who's this guy? I'm sending a couple of my brothers downstate, one lives in, Ann Arbor, the other one lives in Kalamazoo. Right in your yard.
He told me that. Same last names. Too funny.
I'll try not to shout it on you.
Please, do you need a bucket?
Wait, move out there.
All good.
Right,
Okay. We're gonna be back in session at 6:01. Next on the agenda is Planning Commission Master Plan Resolution number 2026-08.
Yeah, I'll just kick this off. This agenda items for the board consideration, adoption of the Inland Township Master Plan 2026. The Planning Commission has completed the required public review and hearing process, including public input and final revisions. And the Planning Commission recommends adoption of the attached resolution. So if you want, I can make a motion. I move the Inland Township Board adopt the Inland Township Master Plan 2026 as set forth in the attached resolution 2026-08.
Second.
Any discussion?
I just have a quick question that actually was raised. I never thought of it. I'm sure nobody on the planning commission, possibly Sarah did. I just read a lot of different reports and negative reports and noticed that a new block camera was put up along 31 in our township. Security camera that records even your face, all your,
Where at?
in our
That might be
township.
to might be to catch the people that are running around on the wrong side of the road.
I don't think weapons of it ever comes down. It's not there?
There's no flock camera in Benson County.
Pretty sure we saw one the other day, and it's all reported on numerous places I read. Anyway, whether it's here or not, I'm not positive, but I do believe it is. It was installed the other day. Has the township considered that in the master plan of banning the use of them? I know some townships are banning them in store parking lots and places they can control.
Who would have put that up?
The state police can do it, the county can do it if we don't have an ordinance not to do it, the police department.
We could amend our ordinance.
What?
If we can amend our ordinance, that'd be good.
I think yeah, it can be amended, that's why I'm saying, I think. I don't know if you've ever dealt with that in the past.
Not specifically, I'm speaking of the master plan, we didn't address specific security concerns in the master plan, it never came up in any of the comments, so.
I know there were concerns about the 5G, and I know that,
Yes, that,
so I would assume that that kind of thing would be along that line.
yeah, just because it's not specifically mentioned in the master plan, you can bring it up then to the planning commission and amend your ordinances at any time, so. It wouldn't preclude, anything that's in there wouldn't preclude you from doing that if it comes up.
Any other discussion? You take roll call, please.
Nelson,
Yes.
Worth, yes, Zelinski,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Sights.
Yes. Motion carries. The township board declared the resolution adopted.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Next is fire department air conditioner and new unit proposals.
My only question is, are we gonna have a resolution, acknowledging why we're not following our policy once again next month after the fact? Because we have 2 bids, we agreed by 3 bids. And I'm not certain that this too should not be a sealed bid, and we have stated, I'm not saying that they don't need it, I'm just stating that there has never been any voice concern to the board that this is needed. So once again, I question why we can't follow our own purchasing policies, and if we're gonna just outright make an excuse every time and not do it, why don't we just get rid of them?
And that's fine. So I do agree with a good portion of what you said. And I did make an attempt, it was brought to me, so I just went for it. But after what has gone on, I think if this is something that we want to move forward with, we can go ahead and do it the way our policy states. But this is what we'll be looking at.
Well, I think then we should move this to unfinished business and we should get the 3rd required bid.
But you need to get them to see it.
Sorry? Speak up, cause they're.
I
Can't hear.
I'm having allergies too.
Can you guys speak up a little bit?
So
It's not even gonna
If
be
you guys
recorded.
have a hard time hearing, you can also move up to the.
It's not gonna
front.
be
No, we're
recorded.
not gonna sit any closer to you, and
So-
we're still not gonna hear it when you're not
Well,
facing us.
there need to be sealed bids and put in the paper. Then that's what. If that's, if.
So
if we
let's
approve
just
that.
move
So
this to next month.
So are we making a motion to do sealed bids and put it in the paper as required?
I think we should.
Okay, I make
Yeah,
a
so-
motion that we seek sealed bids. I think we actually write up what we need. I mean, has there even been any discussion of what is actually needed out there? How do we do?
Is this your discussion or is this your motion?
This is my discussion. I mean,
Hey,
how
let's
do
do your
we?
discussion before you do the,
Yeah, we can do the discussion before the motion's fine.
I mean, how do we put something in the paper asking for something? How are we even getting these bids when there's been no conversation of what is exactly needed out there?
a new air conditioner and heaters needed out there.
Do we need a certain size? Do we need a certain thing? Is there, I mean, what are we basing these 2 quotes on? We just said, hey,
The
give
one
us a
that's
quote
out
on the
there
fire
now.
department. I think there needs to be a description of what that we approve. That's the way I understand
That's
the
the hard,
purchasing
that's
policy.
the hard part about doing equipment, just like the fire truck, it's not a project. That's why you can't send it out for sealed bids. It's not like, hey, go mow the lawns, this is what we have. That's why it's very difficult, almost impossible to do it for equipment. You can't put it out in the paper and
We
get
must
bids.
know what
too
ton
many
and what
requests.
stage or two, like this says
I'm not a
installation of
HVAC
one,
guy.
I'm not either, but I'm just saying that there must be, like you said, there's a piece of equipment back there that we're looking to replace. There must be some specs on that piece of equipment that we would like a comparable kind of unit to, correct?
As far as I know, because that's what they looked at. I don't know my way around an air conditioning heating unit. To be able to,
How about?
we want something that is going to heat the space and cool the space that's in there. And if
How
that
old is our
requires,
current unit? What's wrong with our current unit?
it does not work.
I'd like to hear what
There's
the
no
fire,
air conditioning and no heat in the fire department as of now.
I'd like to hear what the fire chief has to say. And I'm sure that some of these things could be clarified.
I didn't bring
Because
this up.
he's an HV
No, you did not
I did not bring this up. I didn't come to the board reference of this. I believe last month it was recommended when they did the maintenance,
Yes, it was
that
recommended.
it was recommended. I believe somebody took it upon their own to go through and to get whatever quotes. But I believe it was 2 years ago when the Supervisor Davies was here. I believe we can go back and look at bills that we paid them to fix the heating element, and it was a Band-Aid. I do believe so. I'm not for sure, but I believe they stated in that they could fix it, but it wasn't gonna last a long time. That's all I know.
Well, it
So
would make
I didn't
sense
bring
to
this.
include the recommendation in here, so we're aware of that. I mean, because I had no idea that they
So-
recommended when they cleaned it that we need to replace it.
She brought it up in the board meeting. She actually asked for you guys to go back and repay for a filter.
That was for
And-
Bendon.
That was Bendon, that was
That was
not.
Benton?
that
Okay,
was
I
not-
thought it was
that was
that one,
Benton.
and then I thought
And-
there was something, but
yeah.
that's fine, then I
That's the one
mistaked on
Diddy.
that, but that's all I know was, wasn't me coming
I do
to-
remember having it repaired, and so. I don't remember being told Band-Aid.
I don't think he said specific of Band-Aid, I think he said that it was gonna have to be replaced in the near future.
But Teresa, I'm with you. We had something from more mechanical when they did their inspection saying it was time to upgrade. That would have been nice to have included in the packet.
So do we wanna move this to next month then? Are we thinking, are you gonna, do we wanna put it in a newspaper?
Well, if more mechanical has contracts with us, it seems reasonable that they might be willing to sit down and write what specs they recommend for that type of space, and then we could do in the paper an official request for bids. And it seems to be worth the ask.
Yeah, their specs are stated in their quote. 10-ton, 2-stage.
I don't know the other one
And
exactly like that though. Oh, they do, 10. So clearly we have an idea of what we need, so I think that we could find a third. I mean, there's a lot of heating and cooling places.
Well, I
in
did call
town.
5 and one didn't answer, one said they can't do that size. Third one, Precision never called back for a walk around. But it's here so that you know. So you
So
wanna,
are we just getting 3 bids or are we putting it on the paper?
whatever we need to do. But personally, I'd like it to go, to get one because it's hotter than hell back there and they do need heat in the winter time. One person's opinion, in which that's okay. And I agree
noticed
with,
it being hot there.
I agree with that, so.
But I have not heard of complaints of it being hot, but I don't hang out back there, so.
Okay. So whatever
Whatever the policy
whatever we
states.
want to do. We need to approve, if we're putting in the paper, we need to approve that as a spending money. Or do we just want to bring it back with what,
I make a
More
motion that we
mechanical
approve
recommends.
paying to put that in the record Patriot for the purchase of a 10-ton heating cooling unit for the fire department.
I'll second.
Any discussion? You take roll call please, Rose?
Nelson,
Yes.
Ward, yes, Lindsay,
Yes.
Miller, Sykes.
Yes. Motion carries. Next, we have fire tanker RFP waiver resolution number 2026-09.
I'll kick this off and just say the resolution does really three things. One, acknowledges the township did not fully follow section 4.8.2 in its policies. It recognizes that the issue was brought to the board by the public. And as well, it grants a one-time waiver of the publication requirement, which is, the board is fully empowered to do in its policies. So that's that, if you want a motion. I just wanted to tee it up.
So for,
Grabbing those papers.
our policy says we can do this, we can grant waivers.
Teresa, what do you want?
The one that starts with the, governance rules on there.
You can keep one for yourself?
No.
This?
She's grabbing one. Thank you.
So and do we take this through the attorney as well? I mean,
I believe legal counsel may be doing to approve this resolution.
and this was according to what our policy says, this is illegal. It can only
Yeah, should we make a motion? That way we can have discussion. I just wanted to tee it up to the agenda.
What's your motion, Mr. Chair?
I move the Inland Township Board adopt resolution 2026-09, waiving the newspaper publication requirement in section 4.8.2 of the 2026 fire tanker RFP as presented, recognizing that this waiver is limited to the specific procurement and does not amend the township's policy for future purchases.
One second.
Well, I have a few things to say. So, as you all are aware, and just so I don't skip anything, I have actually typed it out for you. On April 13th, 2026, each member of this board pledged to uphold the principles of governance to maintain the highest standards and traditions of Michigan townships. Passing this retroactive waiver directly violates multiple core tenets of this solemn pledge. The board must reject this resolution and rebid the contract in strict compliance with township policies. To me, it absolutely does not matter whether the attorney says, oh yeah, you can sneak this through under these things. I think that not following those things that we all promise to uphold is a failure to practice openness and transparency in our decisions and actions. Transparency is not a tool to be used only when convenient. The requirement to publish invitations to bid in the Traverse City Record Eagle and the Benzie County Record Patriot ensures that the public knows exactly how large sums of taxpayer money are being spent. Waiving this requirement after the oversight was exposed creates the appearance of a cover-up rather than open governance. True transparency requires the board to openly admit the mistake and correct it by rebidding, not by rewriting the rules behind closed doors. Failure to bring credit, honor, and dignity through diligence, appropriate responses to consistent concerns. A resident brought this procurement deviation to light during a public meeting. While the proposed resolution verbally recognizes this resident, the actual action of this resolution completely dismisses their concern by waiving the rule anyway. An appropriate response to a citizen flagging a policy violation is to halt the fault process and fix it. Passing a waiver sends a message that citizen oversight is tolerated in word but ignored in deed, which fails to bring honor and dignity to this board. Our governance pledge demands that we embrace best practices in financial stewardship. Failure to insist on the highest standards of ethical conduct, embrace best practices. Accepting only 2 bids from a closed list of manufacturers, and I know you're counting the one guy gave us 2 different costs for a stock truck and that. To me, that's not truly 3 bids. Accepting only 2 bids from a closed list of manufacturers does not prove a competitive market. Bypassing the public notice step creates a dangerous ethical precedent. It signals to township staff that policies are merely optional guidelines that the board will retroactively forgive if the step is missed. Undermining public trust and the rule of law. We pledge to safeguard our communities. We pledge to safeguard our community's general welfare and ensure impartial stewardship. When the board creates a one-time waiver to cure its own administrative errors, it damages public trust. Taxpayers must be confident that the township plays by its own rules. If the board routinely cures violations by changing the rules after the fact, the entirety of our entire regulatory framework is compromised. My conclusion and request in action is the fire department absolutely needs safe, reliable equipment, and delaying this purchase to rebid is an administrative burden. I understand that. However, honoring the principles of governance that each and every one of us signed and is hanging right there in this room, is just utterly wrong. I urge the board to vote no on the resolution. I request that the board immediately direct staff to publish the RFP in the designated newspapers for the required period, allowing all qualified bidders to submit proposals openly, fairly, and legally.
And I know there was several, emails sent out because I was copied on all of them. Most of them didn't come back.
Again, that
I
doesn't,
don't believe you're gonna get much out of a newspaper ad.
doesn't change the rules. If you want to do something outside of the rules, first step is to change the rules. Or as I stated earlier, do away with the purchase policy. Nobody has corrected the purchase policy. That is what we have. That is what we all promised to abide by. So now you want to change the rules after the fact. That makes every one of us look dishonest and doing something behind the backs of the people.
And I think the
And-
fact that it's been this is the 3rd meeting that we're having about fire tanker apparatus, is not going behind closed doors and making backdoor deals.
You can justify it in your way all you want.
You can as well.
Exactly, but we all signed that. We all promised to have integrity and follow our rules. And we are not doing so.
If our policy says that that a waiver, a one-time waiver is permissible, if that's what our policy says, then we're also abiding by our policy in that aspect as well.
I don't remember reading that in our policies at all. I did not bring a copy of them with me.
Yeah, I
The
don't-
way I read it, I didn't read it. And you were not aware of that fact either. So it doesn't, I think, again, I feel like this is a quick rush through process. I don't think anything throughout the entire process has been to. The department head may request permission from the township board to waive the bidding requirements when there is only one known supplier. Again, we're doing this after the fact. We didn't say we don't,
And we didn't miss a step.
No, that is not the same as this. Yes, we did. Our master plan stuff has just been approved. This wasn't in the master plan or the long-term capital improvement plans for that time. Until it was just there. You know what? You're all gonna vote for it anyway. So I'm just telling you my opinion, and I think what you all are doing is downright unethical.
Do we have any other discussion?
Yeah. This has been a long time thing, even before members of this board were together, about how often we do the maintenance on trucks and how often we believe.
Not the point at this point.
Excuse me.
I know.
So when this is coming out and we're having problems with it and we're going to the attorney and saying, okay, we've made a mistake. How do we fix it? Can we fix it? And we're told, okay, it says in your own policies that you can do this to fix the problem. Granted, hopefully that problem will never arise again. But we do have that option to us from our attorney. I believe that we are all right in following our attorney.
That is not what the paper says. The paper says that we may waive those things. It doesn't say that we can do a cover-up. I'm sorry?
The resolution.
A resolution to overdo that. That's not what it says. That's not how it reads. And I'm sorry, again, I question as Jim Brower does. I personally question that as well. I would like to see the attorney's responses, and I'd like to know that they were given all of the accurate information. That, you know, to come here to the board and say that we, you know, if Dayton were to come to us and say, I know there's only 2 fire truck designers, builders in the entire state, and I'm asking to waive that, you do that ahead of time. You do that so you are transparent and you are open and you are honest with the people. We are not being those things by doing it this way at all. Whether the attorney says, you know, that we can justify it after the fact, I don't think that's the right thing to do to the people at all. And I don't see what taking the time to follow our processes properly, I don't see what harm that's going to do. Is it going to change your decision on getting a fire truck? Most likely not. It's just a matter of whether we are doing it the right way as we have promised to do to the people. And again, we know going into these things, we all know what the policies are, and we certainly should, and we should make every attempt to follow them to the letter. Well, we're not doing that.
Do you have any other discussion?
I just say, I share frustration with Treese on the process. The motion was made by me. I personally remember the motion to direct the fire chief to secure bids included posting an ad in the newspaper. So I was a bit surprised 4 weeks ago when someone from the public said that we didn't follow that process. So the next best thing is to publicly state, as this resolution will do. This was brought to our attention by the public. We missed a key step. We are enabled to waive the newspaper part and then so do it through a resolution. And then, you know, overall, it was run through an attorney and whatnot. So I'm frustrated that we missed a key step, especially when it was, you know, it should have been, especially when I find out at a public meeting that we missed it. So the next best thing is, let's tell the public, we missed this. We didn't follow our own policy. So, and here this resolution is. So
I agree.
I'm frustrated too.
I agree with everything you just said, except for the part where you say that the next step should then be to make an excuse as to why it wasn't done and find a workaround. The next step to me is to correct the original, the next best step is to correct the original mistake. Acknowledge you made a mistake and correct the original mistake, not try to find a workaround. These people want to sell us a fire truck. They are not going to care if we take the time and if they gave us a fair, honest, competitive bid, they are not going to mind us taking and delaying this a few months to do it the proper manner. And I just think that's the way that we need to go.
But if we do go and put it in the paper, we'll be able to use the same bids that we got originally.
If they're willing to honor those bids, then I don't see a reason. They are probably more than willing to extend them. Again, that's a lot of money that we are spending, and I don't see any reason why they wouldn't want to do so.
So that's a thought, if they're willing to extend it.
You can't really do that because then everybody's gonna undercut those bids. That's impossible at this point. That's why this.
How
is
are
to
they gonna
fix the-
undercut these bids? Because
what
we on the board have not even seen the bids. How is the general public, the chief, you opened them, the chief
We
left
announced
that
the
meeting with
price.
them. You announced a price, but he walked out with the bid, so they don't know they're comparing apple to apple. He walked out of them here with them, and they have not been made available to any of us. And again,
So
we're
what are you
making
gonna
a
put in,
purchase.
you just gonna change the bid specs? So they're different? everybody knows that if these bids are so good.
These three
they have
bids are
both.
not the same specs, all three of them. There's a stock truck that doesn't have the same specs as the other. Yeah, I think that's the proper procedure to do. I do.
Sorry. It keeps dinging itself.
And there's nothing that says you have to take the lowest bid. There's nothing that says that. So if somebody comes back with a bid and there's a very justifiable reason why we want one that's the higher one, there's no reason that we can't take that. If they
Okay.
come back. I think that there is so much here that has been done wrong in this whole process. And I can continue on if you'd like, because if that's your next thing is to, well, it's a few things down so we can get to it when we go on the big informational process, but
Okay.
I make a motion that we say no
Sorry,
to this.
we already
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do we have any other discussion? Take roll call, please.
Okay, Miller,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Ward, no, Wassites,
Yes.
Zelinski,
No.
Motion carries. Declare this resolution adopted. Next, we have zoning amendment.
So before the board considers this item, I wish to disclose that my daughter owns property adjoining the subject parcel. I abstain from planning commission discussion and voting on this rezoning application for that reason. To avoid any actual or perceived conflict of interest, I will not participate in the board's discussion or vote on this ordinance. I would ask that this disclosure and abstention be recorded in the minutes. And as protocol dictates, I will be leaving the room during discussion and voting. So I'll step out now, and then whenever you're done with the next two things, you can come grab me.
Thank you for your honesty and your integrity on that matter.
It's my pleasure.
where is it? The amendment, I didn't just,
It's right here. I move the Inland Township Board
well,
adopt.
I was looking for it,
Oh,
the actual amendment that we have to sign.
I move the Inland Township Board adopt ordinance number 2026-01 entitled an ordinance to amend the Inland Township zoning ordinance and zoning map, rezoning parcel ID number 08010022-10, commonly known as 18272 Honor Highway, Interlochen, Michigan, from rural residential to commercial, or to C1 general commercial, based on the recommendation of the Inland Township Planning Commission, the supporting materials included in the board packet, and the expiration of the Benzie County Planning Commission's 30-day review period without comment pursuant to section 14.12D.4 of the Inland Township zoning ordinance.
I'll second.
So we're doing H before G.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we did. That's why I couldn't find it. We did H before we did G.
Right, that's
Or
okay.
we did G
can go
before
back.
H.
They're together, I believe. That's
Zoning amendment and one's an ordinance. One's an
Yeah.
amendment, one's an ordinance.
So we can.
Yeah, we can do
It
that.
doesn't matter.
This is nine,
this is the zoning and ordinance.
this is nine H.
Did anybody second?
Pardon?
Did anybody second?
I'll second.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any discussion on it?
Screwed that up.
You want this one?
I need the, this one's good. That's okay. Nelson abstain.
Yeah.
Miller,
Yes.
Zelinski,
Yes.
Worth, yes, Lights,
Yes. Motion carries.
Now we go back and do.
Yeah, I make a motion that we approve the zoning amendment 9H ordinance.
Second.
It's got H on this part. Oh, that's the other part.
yeah.
Does anybody want to second
I
that?
second it.
Teresa, is that written down?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it.
No, it's what you said written down.
Oh, yes, he's
Yes,
got it in here.
got it. Ted's notes.
He
I
has
didn't know if you had
he's
one.
got another paragraph and a half for this motion, and I'm not reading that one.
Well, actually, this motion for the zoning amendment?
Oh, that's theirs, that's planning commission.
Yeah. Okay. So those are done then.
You have a second on, right?
Yes, Mary?
Okay. Do you have any discussion?
No.
Is this a roll call or is this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You take roll call, please.
Zelensky,
Yes.
Lights,
Yes.
Worth, yes. Nelson abstained. Miller?
Yes.
Motion carries. You were doing one, so I'll grab him real quick.
Oh. Didn't she?
No, it's-
It's probably from her Montana picture.
No, I think it's just the stocks.
Yeah.
All right, next is Parks flyer.
A gentleman from the parks, or a gentleman who lives across the street from the parks came over to our last Parks Committee meeting. And gave us a ton of information that I was unaware of. And so it just brought some concerns, and Rosalie had this idea of posting this at the parks. Unnoticed is spelled wrong in the fourth little paragraph down on the left-hand side, so that does need to be corrected. But other than that, she thought that this, my total blanket, what this is called, I know what it is, but, no. QR code, yeah, the QR code, would be a good way for people to easily, while they're there, get a hold of people and to scan in things, any concerns and, maintenance issues, broken equipment, et cetera. I do believe her and her husband took down the broken benches, which was great to see. I learned from lots of things, but I don't know if report, so I can.
Yeah, her report.
I don't know I can't remember what else in the report. The gentleman, anyway, he came to our meeting. He did also have some concerns with drug use, driving on the back, trail in the evenings, getting onto the walking trail with vehicles. He also questioned why we haven't been running the sprinklers at the ball field that he said he thought for approximately the last 5 years. They hadn't been being used prior to that. The grass was nice around the ball field and was regularly sprinkled. Funny thing is a few weeks ago, I asked about the sprinkler system because my husband noticed that we had one there. I did speak with Bob. There is something broken on the system. He doesn't know when he might have a chance to fix it. It might be something that we should consider, and we can talk about that Wednesday at the Parks Committee, that we should consider hiring a sprinkler specialist to come in and fix and get it back up and running, and then properly done. There is also, when Mike and I went to inspect them and the shed there is 3 or 4, we couldn't tell because they were, the way they were shoved in there. Doggy bag stations in there, that are unused that may want to be put up in different locations, or we might wanna save them. Yeah, same, because the gentleman also said that not just this year, that it has been an ongoing years, especially last year was really bad with the doggy stations being way over full. Also, we may wanna consider if we do a dog park to save them for that purpose.
Probably put at least 1 or 2 of them up and save the third one for the dog park. That's an option too.
Right, I did talk to Bob about that. He said he no longer has the paper that you provided with them years ago of locations. He did not think one along the Lake Ann Road, highly visible by the public, would be necessarily a good idea because the amount of people that choose to drop off their trash there. Again, I think that security cameras there should be definitely a consideration.
Well, we should approve the parks flyer, at least.
Yes. I sort of did the report at the same time.
Was there a motion for that?
I make a motion that we approve the parks flyer, and get the unnoticed spelled correctly.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Is this publishing, I guess, gonna cost
No, we
dollars?
just make copies of
This
them.
is, no, we're just going to put this up in the
In the
parks.
Okay, okay. Do you take the call, please, Rose?
Nelson,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Zelinski,
Yes.
Worth, yes, Sights.
Yes. Motion carries.
Does it make sense, just as follow-up, to have that made into a permanent sign versus just photocopies that won't weather well?
Well, there are some boards there that are behind glass stuff, and so,
Okay.
that was the plan, and quite possibly if people use it, then maybe, yes,
Yeah.
in the long term, we can do that. In the future.
Next is apparatus tanker bid informational session.
Well, I have a lot of things to say regarding that as well. So, I'll start here. So in 2016, conversation was done and research was done by the then current chief, Cutway. And he said that he saw it for almost 2 years. It did almost take him 2 years, but he did seek and get awarded a $285,000 grant towards the purchase of a new fire truck. He said that it was a greatly needed water pumper tank. He stated that that amount of money equates to, at that time, 4-year 1 mil millage that we got for free. So that's 4 years of 1 mil not being taken from the people of our community. So, and we received that truck in 2017, 1 year. I'm not sure why now it takes 3 years, but that's another whole thing. He said that, that this was the first time they had a $3,000, this is all documented thing from newspaper articles that I have researched. He stated that that was, it holds more than 3,000 gallons of water. It would be greatly beneficial to all of our township as well as the townships around us. And then in 2023, we are in the paper seeking a new millage for the equipment. In that millage, our fire chief was quoted as saying that we don't need a new piece of equipment for at least 10 years, which has been stated by him in meetings as well. So I have a couple of serious questions, and I have also typed up a couple public comment regarding this, because we've not done this process correctly. There has been no communication or talks about grants. While I don't expect our fire chief to be extremely great at writing grants or know how to get grants or know how to seek a grant, but I do believe that he probably has some knowledge, because when I look at all to the fire, different things that I can find online regarding fire departments and funding fire departments, it lists several places you can seek grants from. So I would like to see, prior to us making any big purchases, that we also seek into some of those revenues as well. I presented last month, and I didn't get a chance to type up numbers now that the millage has passed, that how much we would make on interest if we decided to postpone this endeavor. And take some time to seek some grants and also earn some interest, being that the number one thing in every survey that has left this building is to reduce our taxes in this township. We are doing nothing to do that for our people. We are not seeking grants. We are passing proposals to work around our procedures. We are passing proposals to purchase things that we have stated we do not need. And in one of these articles, it states, I think in the millage one, when we're seeking the new millage, somehow lost that second piece of paper, it stated that the whole idea of getting this millage was to put money away, to gain the interest. That was implied in the article. I don't have the exact wording here for some reason. It's probably lost in my other paperwork. And I would question, has anybody else on this board done any research regarding these things? A year ago, we saw these same bids and we wasted people's times in seeking these bids. I'm sorry about that. And we passed this, and then we realized that we jumped the gun and we withdrew all of that. This might be here, might be what I was looking for. In 2023, Dayton was quoted as saying there's no immediate equipment needs, but the millage is to help fund the department's equipment needs in the long term. So when the new equipment is needed, the department doesn't have to take loans.
What year
We
was
are
that?
going in 2023. 10 years from 2023 is 2033, last I checked. And again, he has stated here not even a month or so ago that we need one. So according to the fire department's own long-term planning stated by our chief, there are no immediate equipment needs. He specifically stated that we would not be needing one for another 10 years. Furthermore, the department already operates a highly capable 3,000-gallon water pumper tanker truck, which delivers 3 times the capacity of a standard truck. The current equipment millage was passed to build savings for the future, not to justify rushed, high-ticketed spending today. Purchasing an asset costing between $700,000 and $850,000 without exhaustive grant seeking is a disservice to the Inland Township taxpayers. History proves that persistence pays off. The department previously saved taxpayers from a heavy local tax burden by securing a $285,000 FEMA grant after applying for 2 consecutive years. That single grant was equivalent to a 4-year, 1 mil equipment millage. The township must show that same due diligence today. We should not use up local funds until every federal and grant opportunity has been completely exhausted. I'm not even gonna waste my time to go back through the policies, because you all just excuse them. So I don't think that we've proven a need. I don't think that we've proven a need that justifies violating our own policies, no matter what they say. And I think that, again, we should be doing due diligence to save the taxpayers as much money as we possibly can while making sure our fire department has what they need. We have done nothing with grants. If Dayton were to come to us with some grant suggestions or places that do them, I don't think anybody on this board would turn down hiring a grant writer. I think Sarah, who has left, so I can't confirm that with her, I do think she is that ability. Heck, when Dave was our supervisor, he wanted to take, this board approved for him to take a grant writing class so that he could seek grants for the fire department. We have done none of that, and I think that's totally unexcusable.
This whole thing is to get us on a better rotation,
It-
and we're actually, the money that you were saying we're gonna make in interest, we're gonna lose in depreciation.
That is-
If you look at the last year's numbers from what we had, the money that you said that we were gonna make last meeting, we're actually losing more than that. And then the truck will
Show us
go
that.
down to zero.
Show us that, because we've not seen that, and I don't believe that to be accurate, and also that's not in addition to the additional money being placed in there.
And Spencer's, I would assume, because they didn't go up as much as Rosenbauer, that they're just trying to make the sale also at this point. The difference is, I think, right around 60,000 difference. You're saying we're gonna make 50 in interest.
We were
So
gonna
we're
make
losing.
300 and something thousand in interest.
I'm
I don't
talking-
know where-
I'm talking per year, and it's gonna go greatly down from that. You're losing 60,000 a year. You're talking about 250 over
You are
like 5 or 6
throwing
years.
away money and value of a thing. Again, if you
You have a
purchase
trade-in value.
you have a
Everybody has
trade-in
all said,
value.
trade your vehicles in before 100,000 because it drastically reduces from there.
I'm sorry, I'm finding it hard to see where your trade-in value. We're gonna get 200,000 for a trade-in? Is that what you're saying
We
here?
were,
We were
that
gonna
was
win.
last year.
And what are we getting now? We don't know. So what?
170. It's 170, it was in the bids, it was.
And the truck went up how much?
Which one? One of them I think was 13 and the other one was like 60 or 60 to 70.
So you're almost at that 50,000 mark with one and close to 70 with another. So the money that you're saying we're gonna save, we're actually losing money.
If you seek grants and you invest your money properly, I don't believe that
And
to
I
be
also
true.
think that with the
I
recent
did it
election of
extremely,
everybody, they have voted that they want the fire department, they wanna help the fire department have new things. Because
I
we're
do
losing
believe
equipment.
that you are the one who stated here not too long ago that everybody likes to come and do fires with Inland Township because we already have the very best equipment around.
We have good equipment.
That's not nice. Again, I'm stating my opinion. I'm
But we
stating my
need to
opinion.
get on a rotation, so we have a plan, you have to have a plan. It's in the master plan even, that it's gonna be replaced in 29, so if
We
you
just
look
created
at
that
it,
master plan. That was
for-
not in the way the
for
master plan
2
was written in the
years.
past.
If it was, you're talking 2 years and it's a 2-year build, you're almost at 29 anyways.
I thought it was a 3-year build.
Bid specs say 500 to 600 days.
That rotation plan was originally brought to this board way back when I first was talking to Jim Tucker in Traverse City about his rotation plan for all the trucks and equipment that he had. And his platform at that time was every 10 years that you replaced one of your fire trucks.
Yeah, cause you can never do it and replace 2
And-
in
No.
that timeframe.
And to get.
Well, you could if you saved your
Excuse me, to
money
get the
properly.
speculations that are needed for wherever you are. The speculations that the fire chief has put together for our building, for example, just the length of the truck. Is it, I mean, some of these trucks won't fit in our garage, but the whole thing though is the process of the rotation that you have to have established.
That's because all of a sudden we've decided somewhere along the line, and I don't know that that is voted or in the master plan there, and I'll have to confirm that all of a sudden we need to replace our trucks every 10 years. Because back when we first replaced the truck in 2017, that truck that we replaced was 30 years old. We operated this fire department efficiently with a 30-year-old truck at one time. Now we can't operate one that's 11 years old?
No, we started in 2009 with our fire department, because I was part of that committee to even get it going.
I came to
And at
those
that
meetings.
time,
And
excuse
that's
me,
also,
at that time, it was said that we need this 10-year rotation because of the specifications that I gave to this board, that I got off the internet and gave to the board, that said, after the 10-year cycle of a truck, you have a hard time getting parts. You have a hard time getting your requirements and specifications that you want for your fire truck to be built. It doesn't get built in a year or two. It usually takes 3 years to build your truck. But you need that 10-year gap to fill in there so that you're not going back to people all the time and saying, we need more money, we need more money, we need more money. And we're not increasing the millage for things. We renew it, but it's not an increasing.
and you're saying a 10-year rotation is 10-year get a tanker, then in 10 years is an engine, and then another years as a tanker.
Yes.
So actually is a 20-year rotation
Yeah,
on
and
it.
that helps keep your insurance policies lower for everyone in the township because of the rating that we get for the equipment that we have.
I'd like to see proof of that because I've checked with my insurance company. You have
I
not.
took it off the internet.
Mary, that was an AI generated comment that had no actual supporting document. And I'm sorry, I just,
You're wrong,
it
Trish,
was.
because when I
think
first
you're-
gave it to the board in 2009, all that information was also.
Well, I
there.
would like you to see that and also
I don't
I don't
know where
believe
it
you
is
knew
now,
how
'cause
to
I don't
use the
keep it
internet
for
in
years.
2009, I'm sorry.
I don't keep it from 2009 either.
No, I don't
And I
think,
don't have a recording from Jim Tucker.
again,
and I
I'm just
talk-
stating my
excuse me,
opinion.
I don't have a recording of Jim Tucker and I talking about it and him giving me that information. But I brought it back to this board and I brought it back to this board again several months ago. When I took it off the internet, I gave it to you.
Well, Mary, at the time that this fire station was created here, I was just a resident here in the public and I attended all those meetings regarding getting a new fire station here. And I remember nothing of that ever being said. I'm not saying that it wasn't said. I'm just saying there is no proof of that being done. There is no proof of the need of that being done. That is not the way anything that's been quoted in the paper in the last 10 years have been stated. So I'm saying,
Sorry about that, but I
Same.
can say that I presented it.
Does anybody have any questions for Dayton on the fire truck, any particulars, anything like that?
I have some discussion points when we get to that, along the line, but yeah, I think while Dayton's here, if he just wanted to explain the difference between the two.
Yeah.
Bids, the specs, what he was looking for, on his specs and price points.
is that between 2 bids or 3 bids?
3. It's on that paper.
You just said 2, that's why I'm asking.
Would you like to know?
Well, so, maybe we'll just start with the bids. How many bids were sent out? How many were received? How many weren't? I mean, that may
I
help
sent
clear
out
up.
I sent out 8 bids to 8 different manufacturers. I CC'd the supervisor in those. We got 2 back, Rosenbauer and Spencer, 2 back from company. And then there was 2 sent back saying that they weren't going to bid on it. And then there was no reply on anything else.
How many meet the bid specs?
The Spencer Custom CM Spencer, the one from Spencer and the one from Rosenbauer meet the specs. The stock one does not meet the specs that we wrote.
Is there a reason we can't purchase a used vehicle?
If we're gonna purchase a used vehicle, when do you want that to be? You want it to be a 2020?
I'm just asking.
I asked you.
I mean, I just see that there's an awful lot of them for sale. I don't know why we've never.
This doesn't,
Dig that
So-
that
consideration.
doesn't help get us on a 10-year rotation.
So we can purchase a 2020, most 2020s right now are $400,000, $500,000. Thompsonville just bought a used truck because their truck was overdue and they didn't have enough money to purchase a new one. So they bought a 2019, I believe it cost them over $400,000. They also had to do a lot of work to that, so I don't know what their total cost with that was. And then they're still looking at purchasing another one here in the near future to replace that, because now they're still on that timeline.
And was that more of an entry-level truck kind of?
Actually, no, that wasn't.
Have we considered trying to sell our truck to a local fire station in need where we could potentially get more than a trade-in value?
We can put it online like we did the one truck. We can't even guarantee that we're gonna get that. That's coming from,
But you can speak with them directly is what I'm
that's
asking.
coming from a company that does this, like where Thompsonville bought theirs.
Do you feel that if you put it up for sale for something like that, that we would be out without a tanker for 2 years because they would buy it and want it immediately?
Yeah, if you're gonna put it up for sale right now, then
We're
if it sells in a month,
Well, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you know that you just said Thompsonville is going to want to be looking at
that's,
another
it's not,
station, so
not
you
the type
can.
of truck.
Okay,
Two different
that's
types
what
of
I'm
trucks.
asking.
Yep, two different types of trucks. So what they bought was a engine. We have a tanker, and they just bought a tanker. I don't know how many years ago, not that recently.
So prices between the two bids that meet specs, comparable, one,
One's
and
at,
I'll be honest, I know the answer.
one's
but-
at 800 and one's at 700. I don't know, I don't have the actual prices in front of me. One was 8 something, and the other one was 7 something. And they were both, and then they each had, it's under 3A, I think.
And how do you propose
Yeah,
that we're gonna pay
7
for this?
78.
Because you don't have enough money in the equipment millage
So,
fund to pay for this.
so based on the specs and the way the trick should be on the top page,
Yeah, so.
when the chassis comes in,
770.
only $170,000 paid for. You only need to pay $170,000 when the chassis comes in, and it was stated by Spencer that it was gonna be approximately 1 year before the chassis comes in. And then also, the rest of the money would come out of the next budget cycle, I believe, depending on when the truck gets technically narrowed down to what time frame. So we don't pay nothing for at least a year.
If the truck gets done in a year and a half time, you do not have enough money in the millage to pay for the truck. What's your
In-
plan?
In just the 213 fund, correct. You can take money out of the 206, because that's for operating, this is also operating
That's
expense.
what I'm asking.
Correct. Which is roughly, I think the difference that would have to come out of there is roughly $30,000, if that.
Anybody else have any other questions?
Of the two, if you were to suggest the board, go with one of the two, is there one that you'd be leaning towards?
I would lean towards the Spencer one.
And that's because,
Just things that I've seen, to tell you the truth, what I see is it's a better truck, but most everything's just about the same. It comes down to a price thing too. I mean,
Because they do meet the specs is why it comes down to a price thing, or?
yeah, they both meet the specs. There's little differences in each of them that I don't think would hinder anything. And so then price, building, talk to a bunch of other people that have both trucks. They don't have a problem. So one's built in Michigan, one's built in South Dakota.
Have you had conversations then with other fire departments as to which company they've,
Yes,
and You just said they have no problem with either one? So why would there,
So
why,
it also comes down to some places, that's all they buy is certain types. So you can go to some departments, all they buy is Pierce. All they buy is Rosenbauer. That's what they only buy one manufacturer.
well, if I'm reading this right, and I'm no vehicle expert, it looks like the transmission is a higher quality transmission and the wheelbase is a longer wheelbase, which would make the truck more durable? It
So
seems to
longer-
be like a transmission. I mean, I know
Longer-
that's an issue in regular trucks and having a better transmission is a better thing to do in the
Longer-
Rosenberg.
The longer wheelbase means a longer turning radius. So that's where the Spencer is a little bit shorter in the wheelbase. Rosenbauer likes to put some of their stuff on EVS 4000, 4500, 4000 transmissions. Our two trucks that are currently out there are on the 3000s and we haven't had any problems with transmissions. That's what they do. Rosenbauer also makes stock trucks that they put the EVS 3000 on their stock trucks too, that carry the same amount of weight, or same amount of water. It's less weight, a little bit less weight.
So how does the stock truck not meet the qualifications requested?
The length, which I feel is we've hit our truck that it parks, the truck. So our tanker parks here, our brush truck's behind it. We've hit that truck twice and had to have it replaced. And so we put some dimensions of length
So
on
the
it.
stock truck is longer?
The
Is what you're
stock truck
saying?
is longer than the spec truck. It also has a smaller engine. It also has a smaller pump. It actually, I believe, has a little bit more cubic storage, depending on how you do it. You also, with the stock truck, don't get any lettering put on it, so we would have to pay for the truck to be lettered. It doesn't come with any shelves, so we'd have to pay for shelving. There, I believe in their bid price, they don't do the trade-in with the stock truck. Have to go out and do all that stuff, which Brindley requires, if we use Brindley, requires certain things. So they require new tires within 7 years, so we don't have to worry about that because we got new tires. They require a non-destructive test, which means you have to do a non-destructive test on the frame to make sure it's not rusted through and that stuff. The last time that I talked about, getting one of those, it was about $15,000 to $20,000. And they also require a pump test. So we normally do pump tests every year anyways, but we would have to have it done within 30 days from the time that we get that truck to Brindley. And most of those apparatus broker companies require that.
Are you willing to, because if this is gonna take allegedly 3 years to, 2 to 3 years to complete this truck, and if it takes on average 2 years to get a grant, is there any reason that you wouldn't see what grants you could find that the board could possibly look into applying for grants?
Yep, we can put in for grants too. And then if we don't get the grant, you're waiting, so we're waiting 2 years to
I'm
do
not
this
saying
and
that,
then waiting
I'm saying while we're waiting, why are we not seeking grants
We
at the
can.
same time? We could be doing both at the same time.
We can.
Is the public allowed to ask any questions on this?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So, Rosenbauer shows that it's got the, clearest pump control warranty, plus it's got the, substantially greater cold weather protection. I just kind of went down and put an R or an S along like who, and I don't know who did this comparison, but what the key differences were, and, some are the same, but I've got like Rosenbauer getting like the majority of the key differences, of the better of the key differences, I should say.
The pump for the SAM it's based on everything. So it's what Rosenbauer stated, they just worded it completely out, that there's a 10-year. It's also the same thing as Spencer, because it's the same pump. Actually, most pumps are only 5 years, but based on the SAM system, because it's automated, it protects a lot of things. So they allow their pump to be warranted longer than most other companies.
And where does it state that? I'm not seeing that.
What?
The bottom of the
Confirm, okay.
one page. And then the higher, greater, substantially greater cold weather protection.
We haven't had any problems with our trucks, and they're at about the same level. Actually, they're a little bit less than what is offered in the new one. That's just a spec. Rosenbauer specs theirs at the -60, I think, 61, 64, and Spencer specs theirs at the -31.
Plus it says that they have a better ride than the Spencer one.
Which one, where's that at?
The front suspension says that the Rosenbauer may ride better because Spencer has a flat leaf, more traditional service-based setup.
It's on front suspension.
Yeah, under
It's on the back side,
suspension.
page 2,
To front axle.
front suspension.
Front suspension.
Halfway
Says
down.
I got
it
it.
may ride better.
Yep.
Like I said, I just picked out the key points and put an R and S alongside of it, and I got substantially more Rs than Ss. And I don't know I don't have what the totals are for any of these, so I have no clue if Spencer's more expensive or Rosenbaum, because we don't have totals on our sheets, so we don't know what the
I
bids are.
didn't put the prices on these to go off of the actual truck and not based off the price.
And that's what I'm saying. I wasn't looking at, I'm not seeing prices, so I'm just looking at what whoever made this up.
So Rosenbauer is the cheaper one and appears to be,
Spencer's the cheaper one.
Spencer.
So, let me look at them real quick. So let's turn to the page. Jeez.
778.30, 778, 732 for Spencer.
Rosenbauer.
817, 644.
How much was Rosenbauer?
No, Spencer was 7 something.
Rosenbauer was 817, 644.
Thank you.
So
It's 22 plus 17 is 39.
it's 40,000, which is a big difference. Do we have any more questions for the informational?
No, thank you, Chief.
Thank you. Next is.
Well, I do have some thoughts to share. If this is the time, right along the same that we've been having on this topic, so. Share them now or? Sure. Okay. So I just put my thoughts on paper too, and I have enough for the audience. And I'll read this aloud.
I got one.
Okay.
Pass those around.
So I think it's fair to acknowledge that the current tanker is 12 years old and remains in good condition. So the recommendation is not based on the claim that the tanker has failed, it's unsafe, or it must be replaced immediately because it can no longer serve the township. So the board's decision, the question before the board is broader. Whether replacing the tanker now is the most responsible way to manage the township's long-term fire equipment needs and capital resources. The proposed purchase is about establishing a substantial replacement cycle for the township's two largest fire apparatus, the tanker and the engine, rather than allowing two major purchases to fall close together. So there's really two ways to look at it, a balanced and a delayed. So the balanced replacement Our Fire Equipment Fund 213 was created to accumulate dedicated revenue for major fire equipment purchases and, when possible, allow the township to make those purchases without borrowing. Under the balance replacement plan, the township purchases the tanker sooner, while Fund 213 is sufficient to support the purchase, then allows Fund 213 to rebuild over the following years before the anticipated engine replacement. That approach spreads the major expenditures over time, avoids back-to-back demands on the fund, and supports a repeatable long-term cycle. The other approach, delayed replacement. By contrast, if the township waits to replace the tanker, Fund 213 could grow to more than $1.6 million before the tanker purchase. See chart, it's on the back page. However, the tanker and engine purchases would then occur within roughly 2 fiscal years of one another. Under that scenario, the fund would absorb a $771,000 tanker purchase and then an $818 engine purchase shortly afterward. The fund may technically cover both purchases in the projection, but it would create two very large drawdowns in close succession rather than a more balanced and predictable capital plan. So what's the cost of delay? There is also a financial cost to delay. The 2025 to 2026 bid comparisons show the township's net cost increase for both bidders in only 1 year. For Spencer, the quoted purchase price increased from $767,000 to $778,000, while the trade-in value of the current tanker fell from $200,000 to $170,000. That's a 15% decline. The result was a net cost increase of $41,000 or 7.3%. For Emergency Vehicle Plus, that's the Rosenbauer, the net cost increased by $109,000 or 20%. As its quoted price rose, its trade-in value declined from $210,000 to $170,000, so that's a 19% decline. These comparisons assume substantially similar apparatus scope and trade-in treatment across the two bid years. So there's a double cost of delay. This does not mean the board can predict precisely what prices or trade-in offers will be in future years. It does show a real financial risk to waiting. One, the township can face a higher price for the replacement apparatus, and two, at the same time, the existing tanker becomes less valuable as a trade-in. This is a double cost of delay. Leveraging existing assets. Purchasing now allows the township to leverage an existing asset while the current tanker remains in good working condition and retains substantial market value. The $170,000 trade-in reduces the net purchase cost rather than leaving the township to wait until the tanker is older and potentially worth less. Recommendation. In short, the recommendation is not that the current tanker has no useful life left. The recommendation is that replacing it now makes sound financial sense. It captures meaningful trade-in value, reduces the risk of further price escalation, avoids debt, and staggers the township's two largest fire equipment purchases into a more stable and responsible long-term replacement cycle. So then on the second page, I just included a chart of what the 213 fund can look like. It's a very conservative look. If you look at the balance plan, that's the one in orange there. The fund balance will tick up a little bit. We'll go down with the purchase of the tanker, estimating about 2 years from now is when that would have to be paid for, and then continue to tick back up over the years until the engine needs to be replaced and then tick back down again. However, if we do look at the delayed plan, that fund continues to tick up. It's kind of like a roller coaster. Just tick, 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 tick up, and then a sudden drop off. Boom, when you have an engine and a tanker potentially somewhere in the 2-year time frame of one another, and then back up again. So if you think about the averages, the average that the township would hold looking at these at the balance plan would be about $650,000 average over those years of taxpayer money. The delayed plan, it's about $950,000 that we would hold. There's several years there we're well over $1 million. It's like $1.1 million, $1.2 million as it keeps coming in. And I say conservative, I put my figures down there. I just used a flat 106 annual fund. I did not bake in that's gonna go up as property values increase or interest or anything like that. I assumed what I think is a very modest 3%. We just saw one tanker went up 7% in 1 year and the other one went up, whatever it was, 20% more. So I assumed a modest 3%. I based the engine and the tanker on the net cost of the tanker of $608,000. So I think the chart, in my opinion, is a conservative approach. And again, it's not predictive. So I'm not predicting anything. I'm not going to say that this is the way it's going to be, but it can be used for a planning tool. And that's the way I look at it. So thank you.
Question. The waiver passed, right?
What?
But what would it work if we did put, yeah, more of this stuff is coming. If we did put it in the paper for next Wednesday and and we get what we get and then we're able to kind of fix our mistake without having to deal with a waiver. And
We've already voted on that.
I know, but I'm just saying, what would it
That was us
hurt?
trying to fix the problem, but if you put this in a newspaper for an RFP, the numbers are already established and any other company that wanted to sell their truck could come in less and meet these specs.
But we don't have to choose those companies,
You
just because they come in at a
don't,
lower price.
But at the same point, we're trying to fix what happened wrong
We're not
by
fixing it.
doing that.
Well, that's why,
We've been transparent. We've had this meeting. This is our third meeting on the truck. With us
Price
trying
is
to
already
do
out
right
there, it's
now.
not a competitive bid.
Yeah, it won't be competitive anymore.
How are they out there?
Because they're already out there right there. They've already been
Yeah,
read
that's
in
why-
the township board meeting.
That's
Asking
assuming
that,
that
I mean,
somebody
I
comes to
understand
look at
these
our
different
upside down
spaces.
pages on the website. And the bids aren't even on
this way
there.
it would,
Manufacturers have already
That's why-
contacted me and asked me for the prices.
you know, satisfy board members and satisfy public. This is what I was
Either way, I think
trying
you're not
to,
gonna satisfy everybody.
not, we're not gonna satisfy everybody, but I think it would just,
I'm with you, Rose, because I 100% think that the public perception of, I'm gonna tell you something. So I went out and I saw it. I worked with probably 12 different people at Menards that live in this township. I begged each and every one of them, who every one of them is against us getting a fire truck, who several of them watched the meeting here. I begged them to come here. Do you know what they said? You guys don't listen. We've come to numerous meetings, we've talked, we've spoke our opinions, and you guys do what you want to do. That, and then when I talk to general people in the public, that is the same response that I get. And you know what? That's because of this kind of crap that we just pulled. Because we are not transparent, we give the appearance of dishonesty, we continuously give the appearance of we make decisions here rather quickly on some things where I've been questioned numerous times if this decision is being made round the horn versions and violations of the Open Meetings Act. So no, it may not change anything in here and in the decision and in the outcome, but at least starts helping build our integrity and our transparency back up at this board and gives us some credibility with the public.
that was where my thinking was going. I totally agree with this, but I agree with this too. Because honestly, you guys aren't the ones sitting here in the office taking phone calls.
Same, exactly.
And I mean, to me, fire safety police, and all emergencies are number one in my book. And a fire tank and a new truck would, but I'm looking at where we're going with this and that the time that we're spent in this office for 8 hours a week is fielding phone calls and not getting any of our work done. And I'm not saying this because I'm on anybody's side. I'm saying this because I see her and I see me. And we're fielding those phone calls and not getting our work done.
And complaints, constant complaints about the cost of our taxes.
And no, I don't wanna make, it would be nice to make our jobs a little easier. And, cause I'm looking at both sides. I agree with this and I agree with that, but I'm looking at what the treasurer and I cannot accomplish because of all of this that we've been getting. No, we don't tell you everything. Because there's no point. People call about it, but it's just, it's overwhelming. Because actually neither one of us have been able to do too much over the past month.
And I agree completely. I've already stated my opinion strongly on that. I do question and not, I mean, I'm sure that there's, some just obviously, clearly you can't predict the future here, but my concern is that, and I understand the need to try to get onto a rotation here, but this to me doesn't seem like we are going to be able to make a purchase because according to making another purchase in 10 years from now, I don't think without some of the interest money that would be earning, potential grant money if we don't pursue those options, I don't think that in 10 years, we're gonna have enough money without taking out a loan or increasing the millage. Based on these numbers and these predictions here, I don't think we're gonna have enough money to purchase another truck for cash. I would have to do some serious more calculation, but I don't, looking at this offhand, because if your calculations are correct and the cost is going up in the manner you predict, I don't think we're gonna have the money. And that was, part of my comments for not rushing this. I think that, I agree, I don't disagree that somehow establishing a cycle, but from everything and all the history that I have followed, all the things I found on the board minutes, all the things I found in the paper, this does not seem to be the plan to do this 10-year cycle. It was and it was kind of acknowledged that yes, we would have to make two large purchases close to one another, relying heavily on interest and things that we have made in the process. Might not be the best solution, but maybe there's a compromise. Maybe we delay this purchase a couple more years and maybe we do lose a little tiny bit, but I do think there's a drop off point. If a truck works the same way as a vehicle, a car, yeah, you lose your biggest amount of money in the beginning and then that amount stabilizes in your traded value. I think we have plenty of time to at least, delay this a few months and get the proper bids.
How long does it take to get a grant?
It can take up to 2 years is what he said in here. And, but if the truck is gonna take 2 years to get, and if we delay this 6 months so that then we know we have a grant when we make the purchase, that might be the best way to go. The fact that we have not even considered or had a conversation about a grant, I just have no understanding of that at all, none. I looked online to find grants. I found at least 5 different ones that seemed like they were pretty credible. Again, I'm not a grant writer. I certainly don't expect Dayton to be. I know you can hire grant writers. I know they probably did, and I do believe that I remember that they did for the last one. I think the fire chief could probably assist in finding the grant. I think maybe we should look into that before we make this large decision.
The FEMA grant, we would have to rewrite specs completely and re-put it out. We couldn't see if we get the grant money for this because specifically in the grant, it also states that the specs have to be written not whoever helps you write the spec bid. So if Spencer helps you or if Rosenbauer helps you or whoever, they can't bid on the truck. So then that takes one of your manufacturers away. Also, it can't be in the process. You can't already be in the process hoping you get the money.
Okay, well, that sounds like a good reason to postpone it, because $285,000 worth of free money, and it's quite possibly even more today than it was in 2016, 17, seems like a pretty darn good reason to slow our horses. Unless you all want to come and spend some time daily in the treasurer's office and hear about the complaints of how high your taxes are. Clearly, it was written in our, and again, I realize that we should have more public participation here. I realize that we should all be out there, and I try on a regular basis to build the confidence of our public back up so that they will attend our meetings. I think we've done a fine job here of shortening these meetings and not bickering so much, other than this very important issue, in these meetings, to hopefully build some trust and honesty back with our public. I think this is gonna take a huge, giant, enormous, major step even farther backwards. Welcome. That's your welcome gift.
She's not gonna make a comment right now. She can't.
We just let Rosemary so we could let her.
So,
No, I wasn't talking about that. I
Oh,
was talking about reply to what you said. Because she's not official.
so we have apparatus tanker consideration. We've heard pros and cons 3 times.
I can go a fourth.
There's always gonna be pros and cons.
There's always gonna be,
opinions.
there absolutely are.
There is, and if
I would like.
I would like to, my thinking is the millage passed because, and it's been out there that we're gonna do this 2 months ago, prior to this millage. You would think people would vote no on it, but they voted yes. I mean, there's several different ways to think about it.
There are.
And you just have to
I thought all those
have
thoughts.
your vote and feel good about it at the end.
I thought all those thoughts, and I was astonished at the low turnout of our votes. I'm,
689.
for the number of how many registered voters do we have in this township?
2,230.
And again, I don't know why people don't come in here to vote. I do know that a lot of
It's
people
an off year.
don't vote in the primaries. I think we intentionally sometimes run our millages at that time. I think our higher, am I right, that at the final vote, the count is much higher? And so
General
we're not
election is
getting
gonna
a
be higher.
true count of what the public feels in this. And again, they're not coming here because they know we're gonna do what we wanna do anyway. So, again, it is what it is. If we can't get a grant of any sort, can't even apply for a grant because we have already started this process, I think that's another really strong argument of why we should stop this process and start over correctly. I think we build back trust. I think we bring back integrity to this board. I think we show true transparency, and we're still gonna end up within a year or so of where we're working towards on a rotation schedule. I don't see the harm.
And I feel a little bit of the transparency as we're trying to have more, especially with this, because we had 3 meetings. We didn't try to push through any special meetings or anything like that, which have been done in the past.
Again, that people, and I don't know what the reasoning is. We tried the different start times and stuff, other than, like I said, there is such a distrust and a disrespect for this entire board that people don't want to attend this meeting. So we're being transparent to the 5
This board or the
tops.
board in general?
The board in general. So, we have 5 people tops that regularly attend our meetings, and it's the same. So it's not a true representative or representation of our community. And we're probably never gonna get that. But like she said, us too, are gonna feel the consequences of this action in our offices. And I know you guys don't care about that because you don't really believe it, but we both feel it in here on a regular basis. Every person who comes in here to pay their taxes, almost every one of them, complains about the cost of our taxes. And I'll tell you another thing that the people say to me, several people have said to me, which stuns me. People say that when they see a millage on there, they assume that we really need the money to operate. And so they want us to be able to operate. That's correct. But they're assuming, and they have no clue, because again, no participation. They have no clue how much money this township has in the bank. Leave it at that. Let's vote.
We gotta have a motion first.
So-
We don't ever get a motion. We don't have to vote.
I make a motion that we
Okay.
postpone the purchase of a fire truck until we, A, apply for grants, and B, do it in the correct way with full transparency. Seek all new bids.
So we're not talking about,
Does anybody want a second?
Listen to. Trace. I'll second.
so we're not already talking about what we passed earlier.
No,
This is
we're
a
talking
totally
about
different apparatus
Just,
that we're talking
yes,
about.
yes.
Just wanted to make
It
sure.
is the same. It's, this waiver covers, is talking about this.
Sorry.
Okay. The tanker,
But we voted to approve this.
the waiver that goes into the resolution. Because of the missed, publication.
Yeah,
So we came down here and we talked about it here, and then here, because we're done talking about it, we came down here and we're talking about the purchase, the consideration to purchase it.
so this is to purchase.
This one is to purchase, yes.
Yeah.
Ah, so cool. Oh, here it is.
Do you have any discussion on the motion?
Second yet.
Rose.
Yeah, we-
Oh,
So we could have discussion.
I just really feel like you really can't go back out for bids at this point. There's no way that you could do that. The numbers are out. It's been in a public meeting. Everybody now knows what they would have to do that.
Do you think that
There's no way really to go back.
we did this a year ago, and I don't think there's a whole lot of difference. I think that's probably, possibly a reason that some of the people who bid at that time aren't bidding now, because they listened to the whole process. We voted and we approved for the fire truck that the fire chief wanted, so why are they gonna waste their time to even write us a proposal? Correct, there is a chance of those things, and again, we don't have to take the lowest bid, but starting over, seeking grants, and doing things the right way does go a long way with doing things the right way. I think it's worth the potential of spending the money in the paper and it not doing anything. We did this a year ago.
It just, I
We
mean,
did this a year ago,
and
and
this has also been the thing of the board is kick it down the road.
I don't say we kick it down the road. I say we actively seek grants. I say we actively seek, getting it into the paper in a timely, accurate manner. I don't say we kick it down the road. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm
It's
saying
just-
that we make a motion to put it in the paper now, and we make a motion to seek grants, and we make a motion, to set a date to seek new bids, so that it's, maybe they do go up, we'll kind of get higher if we wait 6 months. I honestly don't think it's gonna harm. You're not even gonna be here at that time.
I
you
know, but I'm
so-
trying to do the right thing to get the township in a rotation. I know I won't be here, but I'm trying to do the
Well-
right thing to get the township in a rotation.
Well, I think leaving the township and having more integrity and honesty and transparency with the public is something I would strive to leave with the people.
And I think with the resolution and the things that we've done, saying that we've missed a step has been transparency.
I don't think
Yes,
it's gonna bring back
transparency.
integrity though, I don't. I think it's
I mean,
gonna do
it-
quite the opposite of that.
It has made it transparent, it has made, we're aware of it, we know, and I mean, I'm trying to move forward. That's why we've done all of our policies and we start working on the next bunch of policies, so we can get everything in order so that we all are on the same page.
So do we have any other discussion on the motion made?
Nope.
Okay. Take-
Can you reread the motion? I didn't hear what it was.
Teresa, you read that. Is to postpone the purchase of a fire truck until we can, and put it in the paper and seek bids, or seek grants.
And we should set a timeline of when we're going to put it into the paper again. I think you're right, we'd have to allow a little bit of time, and I'm not saying that with the goal of pushing it down the road, I'm saying that with the goal of, truly a fresh start, whether that be 3 months, 6 months, I don't know what the answer is to that. And my reasoning for even that amount of time also gives us an opportunity to seek some grants that we would then be able to apply for. Because if we don't postpone this process, we can't apply for grants. I think that's a potential lot of money that we're just tossing aside. How do we justify that?
Potentially.
Well,
We might get
usually,
denied. And then. like
my
I said,
experience
we
with
could
grants
get
is
on the road.
they're usually granted, you know.
Not always.
It's usually, I didn't say
No, when
always.
we talked to the people at the parks place, they said to us, funny thing is I talked to several people at the MTA conference and so did Rosalie. And we were both told the same thing by different people. A lot of times, some grants won't give you, your request on the first time, but almost always you get it on the second time. And I'm quite certain that's probably the case of what happened here when Mr. Callaway applied for grants. It took him 2 years and 2 times of trying to get a grant. And I'm saying we should at least try, and if we have to then make a decision whether we try and do postpone it another year or not, at least we have honestly tried with the first time. I'm not saying we should go through twice, but maybe because we've already qualified for a FEMA, maybe we aren't gonna get denied our first time. I just think it's irresponsible of us not to even try it. So my motion was to postpone this, to seek the purchasing of the apparatus tanker consideration until we have sought out some grants and had the opportunity to see which ones we qualify and make decisions based on that.
Want to roll call this one or just all in favor?
Why are you asking me?
I think because it costs money to get a grant, maybe we need,
Well,
or
I think-
grant writer, I don't know.
And we would have to hire a grant writer, that would be a totally different,
Yeah, we have to find one first. so.
different,
I will look for a
thing.
grant writer.
the one that
Roll call.
Dave
please,
used,
say
you might still have it in there.
Certified.
Yeah, let's do a roll call.
Certified.
Nelson,
No.
Miller,
No.
Zelinski,
So my motion was to postpone this, correct? Yes.
you say you can't abstain. Yeah, Worth, yes, Zeitz,
No. Motion carries. Does anybody else want to make a motion?
Well, we have 2 different bids. One that's out at $647,000. That's the EMP motion. The other motion, Spencer, nets out at 608. So listening to the chief's recommendation, I would propose a motion for Spencer. I move that the Inland Township Board award the contract for 2026 fire tanker purchase to Spencer at a gross purchase price of $778,732, with a chassis payment of $170,000 due approximately in September of 2027, and a remaining balance of $438,732 due upon final delivery in approximately 500 to 600 days, and further acknowledge a $170,000 trade-in allowance for the township's current tanker, resulting in a net cost to the township of $608,732 to be paid from the Fire Equipment Fund, Fund 213. And that the board find this proposal best meets the township's needs and the bid evaluation criteria, and authorizes the supervisor and clerk to execute the necessary purchase documents on behalf of the township, subject to final review and approval by township legal counsel if required.
I'll second.
Discussion?
No point.
I guess. Really gone over everything? Yeah, I have.
Take roll call, please.
Miller,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Worth, yes, Zeitz,
Yes.
Zelinski.
No.
Motion carries. Next on the agenda is electronic equipment.
It's all up on the, well, that big screen TV used to be up here. It's in that room. I wasn't carrying it out. The rest of the stuff is on the table over there. But
I make a motion that we allow the clerk to dispose of the electronic equipment listed.
Second. Any discussion? We take roll call.
yeah, I made an appointment. So we take, to dispose of it, so that's what I wanted to get. Who seconded that?
I did. Oh, wait. You need a motion.
Supervisor second.
Okay, Miller,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Worth, yes, Zeitz,
Yes.
Zelinski.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next we have internet for inland park.
When we allowed the people, and I do believe that we should look into that contract because I believe it's expired, but when we made an agreement to allow Cherry Capital Connection to house their equipment free of charge on the township property a few years back, they made the promise to put free internet into this building, into Bendon, and at the park. I think we need to hold them to that and install internet and security cameras at the park.
I don't know if they have, I would check to see if they have fiber optic up there yet, or if they have the fibers moved up that road. I don't know,
I don't know either. Do we have a place to put a router to do all that stuff, and will it reach all cameras with the
I
locations?
think they
that you
probably
think
put
you
it
want
under
to
the
put them?
pavilion.
I'm not a security camera expert, I have no idea, but I know that they promised to put internet there, and I think that's a great place to start. And I also know that there's a lot of systems you can put anywhere, and I do think that the concerns and, made by, a few different, members of the community, including my daughter, who walks there every night and has seen numerous drug deals take place and people driving on the fields in the back as well as the walking path. I think that there's a need
Okay.
to look into it.
Do we need a
So this
motion or?
is this a vote, or are you gonna look into?
I think.
I don't
those-
have access to the contracts, so I can't really look
I
into
think,
whether the internet's on there and how,
that-
and the contact information for the guy
Then what we
who
do
made the
is
promise.
the
So we start
Parks
there.
Committee and the clerk
So you
get
look at.
together and get these things and yeah. I don't really think it needs to be a motion.
Well, no, not to get the internet allegedly, but, to
'Cause that was
get security cameras, once we get that, we would.
Security
Yeah, okay.
We can revisit that one.
Yep.
Insurance inspection of park.
For the equipment in the parks. It's both park streets. This is just the,
We made no conversation regarding, I don't know that there's any reason to do it at the other park.
I don't think so
I
either.
just didn't know because of that billion.
Or we'd have to
Atlanta
insure it,
Road.
wouldn't we?
Well, the main concern is what we're going to, I mean, our concentration in the Parks Committee is to, because it has been neglected for a number of years, is to work on the Inland Township Park and the RFPs that we have requested. So our concern is making sure that the equipment that we currently have on the playground and that is safe, or whether that should be considered in the RFPs. So I think we just really need to contact the insurance company, see if that is something they truly offer, and get the Lake Ann Park inspected.
And so probably be a good idea that in case there is a charge, I don't think there is.
Well, we find out, and then if there is, we'd have to
just
vote
bring
on it.
back. Okay.
I mean, honestly, maybe I have no idea what a charge would be, that's the only problem,
I
so.
wouldn't think they would.
I wouldn't think so either. And who's wanting to handle this or?
I don't have any of the contact information for the
Okay,
insurance
I'll-
companies
I'll
either.
email them,
Okay.
and we'll look at the park or see if there's gonna be any charge for it. Next is webmaster report.
I think that, we ask for a report from the zoning administrator who's an employee. We ask a report from, other places and people I can't think right now off who they are. The webmaster, I consider a valuable employee. I don't know that any of us here can tell us exactly what she does in a month. I know that I have gone to her on a few occasions and said this isn't correct on the website when I found pages on there that aren't correct, and I've asked her to correct, make those corrections, and she has done that. But in general, none of us know how many hours she's working on there, what exactly she's doing. None of us know what her responsibilities are. And I think that to have a report that states those things, what she has done, what she feels needs to be done, roughly the hours that she's put into the job. We've never even given her a requirement of how many hours she can work in the job. So I think that we are not being responsible, and again, fiscally responsible, if we don't know these things. And to do a report and provide it, it's a one additional paper to our packet that then gives us the opportunity to ask those questions. It just seems silly not to have one. So I make a motion that we instruct the webmaster to provide us with a report of what exactly she does for because also, if we ever need to replace a new one, we don't even know what to tell them, right? So,
Let's finish the motion.
all right,
So,
sorry.
let's go with
I make a
instruct
motion that
web.
we instruct the webmaster to create a monthly report for the board that includes what has been done during the month, what things they feel need to continue to be done on the website, and, the hours worked on the website.
I'll second.
So has been done, needs to be done in hours.
Well, she is in there on a regular basis.
I'm just saying.
Yes,
That's
you
where you're looking
second
at.
it so I can talk more. She is in there on a regular or on a consistent manner, and she has found things that, would flow better in a different way, do things. So like those kind of things she should, do we want control over those things, or do we want to give a webmaster control over those things? I don't want control, I'm just saying, do you know what I mean? So I think she should be reporting to us what she feels needs to be done there in case there is something that we don't think should be changed on there.
I'm going to ask her a question, is that all right?
Mhm.
Rosemarie? I apologize for those pages being wrong. Paper got knocked down and I thought I had them all straightened out. And is it, can you delete that so I can scan and use the set in correctly?
The whole packet would have to be rescanned.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it fell off my desk and because nothing was staying, never. I thought I had it all straight. And if I'd known, I would have.
Well, again, is it my job to?
No,
I don't know what my job is. You know, do I double check everything? Do I I have made the, gone and said, hey, this isn't in time to, so we're violating the Open Meetings Act. And I get harassed from saying that. So I'm trying to keep the
Packets aren't
board.
required by OMA, so. But no, my question.
That wasn't what I was referring to. But
My question, because there were a couple pages, probably 20 pages,
more than, yeah,
that didn't get straightened back out.
they're upside down.
Yes.
And I don't have the ability, if I had the Adobe edit program, I could go in and edit those.
But I wouldn't want you to do that. That's why I'm saying, can you delete that and I scan
Yeah.
it back into you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That I will do.
But again, is that my job to go and check?
We're getting that to next, so hold your horses.
Right. I just wanted to confirm if you could do something.
Yep, they
All
can
right.
be deleted.
Okay.
Whatever goes
So
on
we
there
have
can get deleted.
Any other discussion on this? Okay. So on this,
Do we need to add it? I mean, A's probably.
yeah, all in favor?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is webmaster description.
Yeah, we need to
So
create that.
I think it is one of the things along with the policies and procedures that we have been having discussions regarding. You know, I know that it's been an issue not just with the webmaster, who has a few times mentioned in our board meetings that she doesn't have a job description. We have some very, very outdated job description, and I think that we need to start working on those. I personally think a good way to start is that somebody, I don't care who that person is, that somebody work one-on-one with the webmaster, sit down, because we can't write a job description when we don't know what she's doing. So we need to sit down with the webmaster, and we need to come up with roughly, because again, if she quit on us tomorrow, we have nothing to advertise to hire a new person. And none of us could even tell them what she does in fact do and what is her responsibilities. So I think somebody needs to sit down with the webmaster and together come up with a job description to bring back to the board for approval.
Sounds like.
And having a report would help know exactly what it would be.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a vote on, it's just, right?
Well, I think it's a nay or a yay, because we have to agree that we feel job descriptions are needed
Well,
and should be created.
I think too, that if the supervisor thinks about it for a while, then he can call and he can appoint somebody to do that. I don't think we really need to vote on it, but if you want to, we will.
I have one ready to go. I could forward.
As a starter. Okay. So I guess we'll start there as a starter and then we'll just see and,
Like we did the policies, we can
yeah,
start working on the job descriptions
Yeah.
that we have.
okay. Okay,
I'll send that to you tomorrow, Ben.
okay, thank you. All right, does anybody have any questions on the planning commission draft minutes? Anything on the Parks Committee? We already talked about it.
No, I would like to ask if board liaison to Parks Committee. We asked the, chair to send me an email with what she wants on the agenda so that I don't miss it when I read her
Oh.
report. Because
Yeah,
I don't always read the reports until.
we didn't talk this, in the last week, and so I should,
Yeah, I just had more.
our meeting's Wednesday after the board meeting, so we can think about that fact to know what all you wanted to put on here, but we're good. I think I covered everything.
Yeah, you did. It's just sometimes I get the report and I put the report in the packet and I don't read them until I get it back, so it's just. It's okay.
Any questions on the county commissioner report? Any questions on trustee Nelson's report?
I would just like to point out that, please just take note that the planning commission day of week has changed. Effective this month. The new day will be the third Wednesday of each month. So in some cases, that means that it'll be the Wednesday that immediately follows the same week as the board meeting, where it's always in the past been 1 week later to the day. There will be instances now where it could be the very same week as the board meeting. So the board meeting may be Monday, and then the planning commission meeting will be the following Wednesday. Now, like this time, it doesn't work out that way. It's next Wednesday. So just want to call that out for everyone's attention.
Any elections report? No.
There's 684 voters total came in to vote. And I gave you the absentee ballots sent so that you know how many come back.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it is a cost, and it's nice to know that, yep, sent out 461, only 334 came back, which is actually a high number compared to some.
How many votes? How many votes?
Total votes?
Yeah.
684. The absentee ballots were 334 and election day voters were 350. And that includes the early voters,
How many registered voters?
2,230.
2,230?
Yeah. So we got roughly about 3%.
That's really sad.
Yeah.
And it's an off year election, and that's usually what happens. November will be more.
Again, why I think
Well,
it's,
time out. There's 2,200
230,
and 600 voted.
684.
That's way more than 3%. That's,
Oh, yeah, sorry.
yeah, it's over
Sorry.
a quarter. So.
3% of, the early voting.
Any questions on the zoning administrator report? Okay. And then any questions on the fire chief report?
We had a lot of calls.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have any other business to come before the board?
well, next month's meeting falls on tax day, where I am required by the law to be in my
Till
office till
5
5 p.m. So it was something that nobody took into consideration, which is a possibility of happening on several days throughout the year. But I can't be there, so I'm gonna be unable to probably make it to the board meeting on time. Because I guarantee you there will people here right up till 5 o'clock, and my door has to be open till 5. So either I suggest that we move the meeting until at least 5:30, or I can't be present. Doesn't interfere with our orchestra?
It will, just like it did tonight.
So
And we have enough time to be able to move that meeting.
Oh,
Change it to 5:30.
You need 18 hours to post
Yeah.
it.
It's 18.
3 days when we have a meeting to change. It's not a special meeting, so it's not 18 hours.
I think it's the same.
3 days to post a change. So I get
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know.
a paper written up and saying next month, a notice on the door and on the website that the meeting's been changed to 5:30 for next month.
I keeping this in mind and in the possibility of this, in the future and that sort of thing, and not to mention that even if I leave my office immediately at that time, I'm here at 9 AM. I get no break, no opportunity to eat, no nothing. So it would be, and again, we don't know how many times this is gonna happen in the upcoming years that day, and because the election or the required days for me are on different times of the year. I would personally rather see our meetings go back to 6 PM for that purpose. I think that township offices really need to come first. And the ability to then make it to a meeting on time should be made with consideration in the meeting time.
Are you wanting to make a motion?
I make a motion that we move our meetings back to the 6 PM time that we had.
Second. Dice.
Are we changing next month's meeting at least till 5:30? I
Let's
think,
change it to 6.
I'm sorry,
Let's
Well, we
change it to
just need a
6.
motion.
We said we could move it to 5:30.
If we can move it to 6. We have to make a motion to do that. We're to change September's meeting time to 6 PM.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
It's a required by law tax date. I really think that trumps
Yeah, that's fine.
anybody's dislike for the time change.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
So it's 6 o'clock next
Do we have any other business come before the board?
No.
Public comment will open at 8:05. Same rules as before.
Okay, couple things. I don't know who patrols the fire department or whatnot, but I'm just wondering, I'm driving like a 20-year-old truck, and I perform maintenance on it. And I notice that we always seem to have somebody here at the fire department during the weekdays. Are they doing work, or what are they doing? Or are we just paying them to sit here? I don't know, maybe we could have a report, what they do every week. Are they have a planned maintenance system to work on the equipment, to keep it up in shape? I don't know, but it'd be nice to know some, information people ask. The other thing, now that we know that our inland township property has been dialed in and targeted for the animal control center, it's the most feasible spot. Has anybody heard anything about it lately? Nobody? I haven't heard anything about it either. And you are all public figures to support the public. I don't think we should be changing board meetings to appease one individual on the board. You're here to support the public. Public would like to come, but they want a later time. That's my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any other public comment? It's closed at 8:07. Do we have any announcements? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Any discussion?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carries. Thank you. Ran out of water. For some reason, it's been dry. I don't know if it's all the dust out of the fairgrounds or what.
That and here seems to be a little dry.
I just want to say, I hope that you never have a medical emergency that does not allow you to get out of the vehicle. That's all I have to say to you.